Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. We're an hour and 5 minutes away from kickoff at Anfield as Liverpool take on West Ham United, which means the official lineups are out just a handful of minutes away. But it is, as you can predict, if you were to guess what David Moyes was going to do this afternoon, you've got it correct. Gonzo, how is oneself?
I'm all right, thank you, mate. I've just rushed down. I'm just checking, actually. I've got no breadcrumbs on my chin or anything. Just rushed like you, mate. Just rushed down a little bit of lunch before we get to the business at hand of David Moyes' predictable team, which I don't know, but well, we can play the prediction game if you want.
Well, do you want to play the prediction game?
I think we bloody well should.
Well, okay. Whiz through your 11 then.
Areola, Soufal, Zuma, Gerd, Emerson, Souček, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Paqueta on the left. Bowen is been declared fit, I'm guessing. On the right, Mikel Antonio up front.
Well, you have to wait and see, won't you?
I won't, not for long.
However, I would suggest that you might be correct. We'll get the official lineups in a couple of minutes. And thank you very much for joining us at home. If you are new around here, please do subscribe. There's a big red button underneath the screen, round about where Gonzo's left breast is. If you could click that, it'll take you a couple of seconds and it's completely free. You'll join Hammer's Chat journey. But while you're down there, please also drop a like on the video by clicking the thumbs up. Both things really help out the channel. So if someone was to come onto YouTube right now and type in Liverpool, West Ham, this video will be near the top of the recommended. Hey, you might want to check this one out. We're here till full time. Then we will be live immediately after full time on a separate video with our review of the game. We've got everything for you. Hammer's Chat is your one-stop shop for everything around your West Ham match day. Gonzo, are you looking forward to it?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I'm up for it, mate. Definitely. What about you?
I'm excited, actually. I am actually quite excited. I feel like there's, like Man City is a no-hit game kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same. I think away to Liverpool is the same as well, which is if we get something fabulous, but there's no expectation on us, there's no pressure on us, all the pressure's on them today. And I think I look forward to those games more. I certainly look forward to this one more than Sheffield United, despite the fact that I'm confident we'll beat Sheffield United, but not so confident that we're going to get anything at Anfield. Does that make sense?
No, of course, naturally. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a difference here. I think Liverpool, well, it's not any big statement to say that I think Liverpool are not as good as Manchester City, but clearly, you've got to take into account the Anfield factor as well, which is a fortress, no doubt about it at all. But there are frailties. Liverpool do have frailties that just maybe Manchester City don't have. So I feel there's more of a glimmer of a chance here. But I think how David Moyes, it's not so much the tactics, we know what they'll be. It's not the setup, we know what they'll be. But there's the intent is important here. And I feel the intent, even if we're defensive, I think you can still be defensive and play them on a counter-attack, but it's a difference of intent to think, okay, we're going to sit back and we're going to try and catch them on the break. We're going to nick this 1-0. Or actually, we're going to sit back and every time we get a counter-attack, we're going to tear these guys a new one. I do think there's a difference in the two things.
Anyway, let's take a look at West Ham's official starting 11, and I can confirm Gonzo was correct. In goal for the Hammers this afternoon is Alphonse Areola with the back four with Soufal at right back. Kurt Zuma captains West Ham and partners Neil Figueroa at centre-back with Emerson at left-back. Edson Alvarez continues in defensive midfield. He's returned after his suspension in European football. Thomas Souček partners James Ward-Prowse in midfield. We'll see Jared Bowen on the right-hand side. Lucas Paqueta sort of on the left, sort of in the middle, out there. But on paper, he's out on the left. Then up front is Mikel Antonio. Gonzo, that's your West Ham starting 11 for this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kudus will feel... Well, I don't know what I feel. How can I say? It might be totally expected. This might have been the plan all along. And I suspect, as I had done, I didn't think we'd see him get his debut until the European game. And I don't think he'll get his first league start until Sheffield United. And I just think that's the case it is. Moyes is cautious. But I do think he's proven himself enough for him to be a viable option off the bench from half-time for David Moyes if he so needs. And I don't think we've seen enough from David Moyes this season to suggest he will make an earlier substitution as he used to do it. But this is just what happens when you get your team and you get your squad. It's the difference between him looking at the bench and seeing Yarmolenko and thinking, well, I didn't get this guy and he's not my guy and I'm not sure I want to use him. And you looking at the bench and seeing a load of guys that you've sanctioned the signings off. So I think there's that. I'm looking forward to seeing. You're right. When you say with Paqueta there, the license to roam, he certainly has. I think when he does that, then when we're in possession, he has license to roam, and Bowen very much goes up and gets close to Antonio as well. So there's a variance in the shape when we have the ball to when we don't. But I also like that when we win it quickly. I like that interchange between Gerd, Emerson and Paqueta there. That's become quite a nice feature as well. It'll be very interesting actually to see in this game, because even though the lineup was predictable, we've not seen too many games of this midfield three. So we've only had a little chance to look at it. So I'm really interested to see how it operates in this one. I have, you can suspect. I mean, Alvarez will certainly be the furthest further back. Who's the furthest forward? Will it be Souček? Will it be Ward-Prowse? It's going to be interesting. The corners are going to be very, very tasty today. I suspect Ward-Prowse will be the furthest forward, but it's going to be interesting to see how the dynamic works.
Yeah, interesting reactions in the live chat, actually. We'll grab your thoughts from the live chat in a little bit as we do. So sort of, while keep your comments coming in, also try and copy them if you like. Then when we ask for your comments, paste them back, because there's been some interesting ones already, and I do quite like it, actually. John, for example, was disappointed to see Sufal start as well as Souček, and it's very predictable. But at the same time, the Tower is 100% happy. Ivan thinks it's typical of Moyes and there's no surprises. So if we can guess it, it means that Liverpool can. So
well, that's a true, and that's a fair and valid point, and has been for quite some time about David Moyes.
The thing is, though, when we're winning, I don't mind it.
No, of course, no.
But I think that's applicable if you're losing every week and you're still doing the same thing. I think that's an issue. But if you're winning and you're still doing the same thing, I don't mind being.
Well, this almost works. Let's be absolutely fair. As grumpy as I was after the Man City game, and I was, it did almost work. So there is that. So David Moyes will have seen enough in a Man City game to think, well, I'm going to do that again.
We'll find out how predictable Liverpool was for me earlier in the week, which, to be fair, I think it's not. I think Liverpool's hard to guess because I don't know they're starting out and haven't clicked on it yet. But because of their 5 attackers, Salah's got 1, but between Gakpo, Nunez, Jota, and Luis, good luck guessing which 2 of those are starting. I mean, he sometimes starts more than one of them. Chris is disappointed. Father didn't want to see Sufal. Hammer 1999 says the midfield battle's key. Theirs is very attacking. We'll get onto that, but not very physical. Ours is the opposite. Set pieces is key. So no surprise in Souček. If Antonio plays well, might win. We'll come to the live chat in just a bit. The bench for West Ham is Fabianski, Fornals, Kudus, Mavropanos is on there, as well as Cornet. We've also got Danny Ings, Said Benrahma, and Thilo Kehrer. So there's no Ogbonna on the bench for West Ham. I was thinking, who's missing since Cornet came onto it? And Ogbonna is the one who is not there. No, Aaron Creswell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hang on a minute. We've only got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, just say that might be wrong. Just need to validate.
It's West Ham stitch. I'm using West Ham's graphic.
Yeah. But it might be. But look, how many times last season did we do this and it was wrong on the West Ham website? I would suggest 3 or 4 times during the season.
So let's guess who's on the bench that's not on the.
Well, but Cresswell could well be injured, so that's fine. I'd be surprised if Ogbonna wasn't there.
So anyway, according to West Ham's official graphic, there's only 8 players on the bench for us this afternoon, which would be strange considering it means we're leaving out Coventry, we're leaving out Obama, we're leaving out Ogbonna, Creswell, Johnson. It'd be a bit weird. So
they have form for getting it wrong, don't they? The official.
Here you go. It's coming through from the live chat now. Aqua says that Ogbonna's on the bench and Scampy, Thomas, Hammer 99. They're all saying. So there you go. West Ham messed the graphic up again.
Yeah.
It
happens a lot. It happens so much people didn't even believe it when it came through. So there you go.
That official West Ham Twitter page is fake news. So when people say, I'll believe it when I see an official site, I think I'm going to start saying, I still wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. People do say that, don't they? Yeah.
The one thing I will say about this team is I'm happy enough with it. I think it's because I expected it. I'm happy with it. I get why we're doing it. I think if you were to go toe-to-toe with him, you might find yourself. But the reason I'm okay with it is because it worked for an hour against Man City. It worked for an hour. And he had that plan of bringing on Kudus and Benrahma and taking off Souček and Antonio. And he never got to do it. Moyes did not get to do his plan because Edson Alvarez had to come off. I want to see that today. Maybe
Yeah.
not Ben Rama, but Kudus and a other player and going for it. I'm disappointed I never got to see the outcome of it against Manchester City. I didn't think we got a fair crack at it. Oh, that's a shame. So today we might get to see it. So hopefully we're drawing when it comes to the 60, 70-minute mark and we're able to do that plan that he had up his sleeve and we'll see it. So when we say no surprises for Moyes, well, actually, I think players coming off the bench is where Moyes will throw his surprise in his curveball there. The poll is now live in the live chat. Please select the option which carefully reflects your opinion of West Ham's starting 11 this afternoon. Please get involved. And while you are doing that, myself and Gonzo will take a look at the Liverpool starting 11 at Anfield this afternoon. In goal is Alisson for the Reds with the back four of Geo Gonzo at right back. Alexander-Arnold remains unavailable. Centre backs, we've got Matip and Van Dijk with Robertson left back. McAllister's in midfield along with Curtis Jones. And I always get muddled up with pronouncing this guy's name. Szoboszlai, there you go. Szoboszlai is in there as well. And with a front three of Diaz on the left, Salah on the right, and Nunez down the middle. There's your Liverpool team.
Yeah, it's a really fast attack, actually. But
or if you get the space.
Exactly right. How far forward are we going to be? So that's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, Salah's a hell of a player there. I think they've got a little bit of speed in midfield as well. But, we've got our own qualities in there. There's no doubt about that. They are going to come up against a brick wall with that defence. And then, obviously, Alvarez will be there the whole time. And Souček will be there most of the time, so it ain't gonna be that easy. It's just if they get an early goal, it could be pretty crappy, really. But there you go. You've seen it before. We go a goal down and we respond. So it's interesting. Van Dijk's back. I don't think he's not the player he was. I do think there was a time when he was the best defender. He might have been the best defender in the world for about 2 seasons. That's how good he was. He's not that anymore, and I really think. I can see it. I can see it in my mind's eye. Antonio doing him,
Yeah, I think I'm surprised Klopp's going Matip over Konate. I thought he would have went with Konate for Antonio.
Strong and fast, isn't he?
Yeah, so I'm surprised he's going Matip actually. And Gomez can sometimes be a little bit shaky at right back, so there's an opportunity to get at him as well. And I think actually that suits Paqueta because Gomez isn't really going to come forward too much.
Well, he's not going to have anyone to mark sometimes, Gomez.
Yeah,
so they would have been better with Alexander-Arnold there because he's going to bugger off. But Paqueta's going to bugger off somewhere else.
But that means Paqueta essentially will be unmarked for large periods of the game because either that or Gomez has to follow him, which. It's probably unlikely. Alexander-Arnold would have because he does go into midfield. I'm not sure Gomez will. So there's going to be an interesting battle down that side, actually. While Bowen's got his hands full with Robertson, I think that gives Paqueta an opportunity to influence the game and he'll gets him out. This is why, while I don't like to see him stuck out on the left, he wasn't stuck out on the left against Man City. He went wandering quite a lot. He was often popping up in central positions and it was almost like a free roll.
Yeah.
And I quite like that. And when Gomez is right back, I think you can afford to give Paqueta a free roll and not have anyone down that left-hand side, actually. Famous last words, watch Gomez do a 40-yard sprint and rifle in an unbelievable cross. But the one thing I will say, this is going to get you excited. While the Liverpool's team is scrolling across the bottom of your screen, Gonzo, have a look at that and imagine us attacking a corner. Look at those players. Gomez, Matip, Van Dijk, fair. Apart from that,
yeah, well, I'll bring Nunez back. He's a big lumber, but I think we've got a good chance at anyone against corners now, particularly when if you've got Alvarez and Souček in there, plus your 2 centre backs. You mentioned it a little while ago. Very recently that Paqueta's a big boy. Antonio's an absolute bloody nuisance there as well. And then you've got this thing, this new boy Kudus. Well, if you can find, you don't always have to be the biggest. If you can be physical and you can find space in the box, which you evidently can do, we've got some interesting things. And then we've got arguably the best at doing the deliveries in the league, So maybe you might say Alexander-Arnold is, but he ain't even there today. So we've got one of the very, very best in the Premier League. So they're going to be licking their lips at corners. And I wouldn't be surprised if Moyes says, you know what, the counter-attack, just shoot. Let's just shoot. And, well, certainly is very much the modern way now. There was, people know that maybe watch football, sort of in the 70s and 80s. keepers caught the ball more. I understand the ball's lighter now and it probably moves around, so they've probably been trained to parry and punch and all the rest of it. They used to catch the ball now, and they just so I'd be shooting as much as possible, because to have Alvarez, Agurd, Souček, and Zuma, Antonio in there all coming up for those corners, it's going to be a nightmare for them. So he has a great point, Gio. Great point.
Liverpool's bench this afternoon, they've got Keller on there as a substitute keeper alongside Endo, as well as Konate, Gakpo. Harvey Elliott's on there with Jota, and they've also got Gravenberg, they've also got Smikas and Kwanzaa, who I think that's his centre-back. I think he's the young, I could be wrong, I think he's a young centre-back, but I could be wrong about that one. I'll check. But there you go. That's your Liverpool bench this afternoon. Anyway, we'll get the starting 11s of both teams up on the screen for you in just a second. And while I do that, and I'm speaking slowly so I can go and see who this Kwanzaa is. And yes, he is the defender. There you go. He was the defender. He started against Wolves. I thought he did. He started for Liverpool last week against Wolves at centre-back with Matip and was substituted in the second half. So there you go. That's your West Ham team and your Liverpool team this afternoon. Gonzo, time to compile a bet. So if you use this new around here, please do subscribe, drop a like on the video and all that, even if you're not new around here. Not just the new ones, everybody drop a like on the video by clicking the thumbs up. But myself,
even if you don't like it, drop a like on it.
Yeah, be kind. Be kind.
Yeah. Contradict yourself.
Yeah, it takes you 2 seconds to show a little bit of kindness to us two people. And Charlie will appreciate it as well. What we're going to do now is we're going to load up the old Bet365. Myself and Gonzo are going to compile a little bet. And should that win, we'll give one of you guys the cash this evening. Gonzo, is there anything you fancy?
Yeah, I feel it strongly. The force is strong in this bet, which is Bowen to score.
Right, okay. Player to score, Jared Bowen, because we're 7-2. That's a big price. Because I think we're going to have to go both teams to score. We both fancy Liverpool to get one as well, so put that in. Do you fancy us to come away with a point, or should we leave that out?
It depends. You know the odds better.
We're a West Ham channel. Whack it in. West Ham to not lose. Let's
not lose. Not lose.
Not lose. Is there anyone you fancy for the card? And you can have the most obvious one if you want. I think
Emerson. You think Emerson?
There's two. There's Emerson. Well, there's actually three. There's Emerson, who's picked up a few yellow cards this season already. Paqueta.
Actually, I think we can do that. Not allowed. I don't want any allegations being thrown at Hammers chat.
I can come right. I will say it now. We've had no chit chat with Lucas Paqueta.
You can see the headline now. A West Ham player is in cahoots with an unnamed YouTube channel to manipulate the outcome of football matches. I don't want anything to do with this.
Hammers chat subscriber, Hammers Bet365 with Paqueta card.
I'm just looking at do that. Just share the love.
One of our subscribers will be interviewed.
I know it's us trying to give you lot money in the bet, but if someone like gets a cheeky million or something, you know, the insurance has gone up on my motor.
Right, and then you can have Edson Alvarez. So Alvarez, Paqueta, or Emerson.
Emerson with his studs down Mo Salah's Achilles.
When there's also no Cresswell, so the likelihood is he's going to play. Not that he was ever going to get taken off.
Definitely Bowen to score, Emerson to get a card, West Ham not to lose. It's good. Right.
Okay, so this is the bet. Should this bet win, one of you guys will win 250 quid. Or do you want two winners at 125 each? What do you want?
Now, give someone 250. It may make a difference, yeah.
Okay, if this bet wins, one of you will win £250. We need West Ham to not lose, so a draw or a win, doesn't matter which one. Both teams to score in the game. Jared Bowen to score a goal in the game, and Emerson to be booked. If those four things happen, one of you win £250 cash this evening. To enter in the live chat, first of all, you've got to be subscribing, by the way. If you're not a subscriber, you ain't getting the money.
And liked it. You got to subscribe it and liked it.
Yeah, you've got to do that. Get involved. Right? You do something for us for free for 2 seconds. You're involved. For the lottery, you've got to go buy a ticket, which is about £8 these days. I don't know, is it £2.50 or something? Then you get an email saying you've won a prize. You get excited and you won £2.90. It happens, right?
And you've got to type it in uppercase. You haven't.
Once you subscribed and liked it, there's only one more thing you've got to do. In the live chat, please put the following phrase.
Bowen, arrow.
Bowen Arrow, there you go. Get that into the live chat, and you are entered. And should that be win? 250 quid for one of you guys. Gonzo, you seen the teams? How you feeling?
Good. Looking forward to it. Excited. Looking forward to it.
You've messed up. You've messed up. Hammer 1999 said it should have been a Matip line to do with Paqueta. Got Matip on from Paqueta or something like that.
I don't get it.
My tip.
Oh, yeah, well done. Yeah. I probably did. Yes, I definitely messed up. Yes.
Bowen Arrow, there you go. Get it into the live chat like Major has, and you're entered. Anyway, Gonzo, you've seen the teams. What are you thinking?
I love it. I think it's brilliant. I'm happy with this. I don't think we can beat them going toe to toe. I think at some point, someone this season beats Liverpool going toe to toe with them. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think, let's use Brighton as an example because they're sort of known for it. And it will happen, but most of the time when someone goes toe-to-toe with Liverpool, they won't win. I think Arsenal can go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. I think Man City can go toe-to-toe with Liverpool. But, if you're are not blessed with, having, all those sort of world-class squads, then I do think that this is probably our best option. But we must counter-attack, and if it's not working, then he has to make a substitution. But I don't actually mind starting like this. I don't particularly, and I do think that watching Souček head that ball in would have been just incredibly tempting for everyone concerned. For Moyes, but for Souček, for James Ward-Prowse, I think he would have been tempted by. Hold on a second. I would not be surprised if we're going into this game to try and win this game on set pieces or something like that. And as I maintained, and I said this, I don't particularly mind that. I don't have this craving to play like Barcelona all the time, but we must counter-attack. What I don't want is Moyes at his worst, you get to half-time and we've had no shots. I mean, we used to do that a lot, didn't we? No shots. That's not what I want. I don't mind us sitting back. I don't mind us doing it, but and I don't even mind if we get to half-time and they've had 7 shots and we've had 4. I get it, but let's just make sure we actually pose a threat. I think that's really key.
It depends on the outcome at the end of the day. If we had 1 shot and they had 25 and we won 1-0, I don't really care. Honestly, I don't care. It's when we lose and we've had a handful of shots at goal and we've not really threatened. That's when it's frustrating. This is why I think I love statistics. I love data. I do, but I think you can't go too far with it. But that's why I sometimes think you can't just use it as a stick. There has to be context around it. And if we get beat 3-0 and we've only had 3 shots, then that's a valid criticism. But likewise, sometimes we will win 2-0 with only 3 shots. And it's sort of like, well, you can't have it both ways a little bit. That's why possession, I can't, as much as I want to see us to play pretty football, I can't pay too much attention to it because some of my favourite West Ham games and wins have come from us with 30% possession. So when we lose it, I want to have 30%. I think, hang on a minute, I've loved that game not long ago. Yeah. We had 30% possession at Brighton away. Absolutely loved it. But possession-wise, we would have got battered. So statistics is a funny old one. But what you said about set pieces, I agree to some extent. What I don't want to see, though, is our only way of scoring or our main way of scoring. Having it there as one of the ways you can score, you're likely to harm the opposition, brilliant. But I don't ever want to get to the point where we're relying on it. I hate that. Because that means you're useless in open play. Quite frankly, that is what it means. And I don't want to get to that point. But today, it's hard not to get excited. Liverpool are good at defending set pieces. Liverpool are fantastic at set pieces. Liverpool have a coach for throw-ins. Okay, that's how serious they take this stuff. They have somebody on the training ground to teach their players how to take throw-ins. Not just that, how to receive it, etc. They have plans for when the ball goes out of play. They have a strategy. That's how serious Liverpool take it. So defensively, they're going to be hard. They're going to be a tough test. Not much height in there, but they're well organised. There's a zonal man marking thing. They've got it down to a T, but they're there to be got at today because the one thing that's impressed me with our set pieces is first of all, as we've discussed earlier in the week, we've now got 4 scorers already from James Ward-Prowse corners. 4 different players have got on the end of a James Ward-Prowse corner and scored. Agerd, Zuma, Souček, and Kudus. There you go, 4. And you can expect others to eventually score. Mavropanos, Antonio, Paqueta, you can expect them to score eventually too. But the second one is, well, there's actually 3. The second one is we saw against Man City, Jared Bowen took a corner and it was close to score. Oh, here we go. This is different. We're mixing this up a little bit here. But the third one is James Ward-Prowse's deliveries also vary. Look at Souček's goal right at the front post. Souček knew it was coming at the front post. Bang! It's in. It's not into the same area every single time, which gets a bit easier to defend. So when the Liverpool coach is looking at our corners, he's thinking, sometimes they go front, sometimes they go back, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's quite loop, sometimes they don't know what to expect. And I like that a lot, actually. I don't know what to expect. I'm watching us every single week, and when we get a corner, I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen. The Bowen one caught me off completely.
He did one against Europe, and it trickled along the floor and just hit the defender. I wasn't expecting that.
There's that one as well. Yeah, don't like that one though. The rest of them though were really good. So bring on the corners, bring on the free kicks. Right, it's time for you guys to get involved in the live chat now. Please put your thoughts in regards to the West Ham lineup, Liverpool lineup, any hopes or fears you might have ahead of this game. But please do not put your score prediction. We save that till about 10 minutes time. We'll take everybody's score prediction in one big go and see what everybody feels. But get your thoughts in about the starting 11s, please. David Moyes. David Moyes is tuning in. Thanks, mate. We've got it sussed. We know it's all gone now.
Hey, Moisey. Don't forget to have a little counter attack today, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe go and do the team talk now. I can't believe he does that.
Danny says, what is him? Got mistaken him, the poor lad. Also, Sufal having to deal with Diaz. Fingers crossed.
I reckon he'll think that's easy after last week.
Yeah. Arguably, surely it can't be as bad as Doku.
That's pretty horrendous stuff. He won't be. Do you know what? I reckon they'll set up like a little WhatsApp group, right backs, Premier League right backs, WhatsApp group. I'll be like Alcoholics Anonymous, be like a little counselling thing every time it's going. You can only get into the group if you face Doku. And it's just going to be a lot. It'll be a lot of complaints. There'll be a lot of healing going on there.
Sufal have not in Forest. Their lineup came out yesterday, playing Man City. Aurier and Anya starting, 2 right backs starting, and then they brought on Montiel. So they had 3 different right backs playing.
Oh, you'd definitely catch COVID before you face Man City if you're a right back, wouldn't you?
Sorry, boss.
Gaffer. And the legs. Oh, the legs. I can barely. Oh, Ben Johnson's going to have to do it.
Yeah. And then once Doku's ran at you for an hour, they take him off and put on Jack Grealish. Oh.
Yeah.
Knackered already. Scarborough says Kudus sub could be crucial. William hopes Cornet comes off the bench and scores the winner in the last minute.
And then it gets disallowed for offside.
Possibly. Thunder Joy said this will be a snatch and grab. Mark thinks the starting 11 is decent. 2 up, 2 down says lineup's looking good. Looking forward to Kudus coming on at the hour mark. 1999 says Paqueta is going to make people have mess in their pants when taking his time on the ball against their counter press. That's a valid point. Liverpool do swarm you.
Oh, he means a bad mess in the pants.
Yeah, because Paqueta's also quite calm.
Not a pleasurable mess in the pants.
No, not a pleasurable one, because Paqueta doesn't mind a little bit of intimidation from the opposition, doesn't it? And then
I'm sort of just hoping for clean pants at the end of the game, really.
I'm hoping for messy ones as well, but not those kind.
Yeah.
Don't watch says Kudus got credited for the other goal in Europe the other day, in case anybody didn't know. That's true. He's now got 2 goals.
He must have paid. Oh no, you can't say that. He was lucky to get accredited with that.
Harley said he thinks Dinos is better than the Gerd, who he started to not rate. Michael says it's funny. He normally feels more optimistic as the game approaches. For some reason, I'm talking myself out of a result. The closer
I'm just pleased you're talking, Michael, after your laryngitis last week.
Maybe he was going to be playing up against Doku.
Absolutely.
Oxby says Souček's played well this year. I wouldn't have benched him. I think that's a fair comment.
Yes, it's a fair comment. He's played well. He's played well. Probably since the last 5 games last season.
Since Rice was rested for the final and then left.
Yeah, there you go.
Michael said Aguerd is a forward-thinking player, needs space to use his pace. The low block does not suit him.
He is a forward-thinking player. He is. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Scampi says good options to bring on when Liverpool's defence is starting to get tired. Lloyd says Paqueta's the new Fornals defensive winger. Can't stand Moyes' decisions.
Oh, I wouldn't say. I I wouldn't say he's defensive. I really wouldn't. I think he's.
I don't think Paqueta would do it.
I think pulling strings in there. No, I think. But yes, you say I agree with you. I think he's been given a free role. I think he's there to pull the. I don't think he's been. Listen, I think he works hard. I think he tackles, but he is not getting back and tackling at left back all the time because he's under instruction to do that. I don't think he's under. I really don't. I don't.
Hughes says don't want Souček in the squad, but can see why with the set pieces. Peter says if we keep their forwards quiet for 100 minutes, we might have a chance of getting something for a change.
I like the 100 minutes. It's true. It's true.
Well, this is what I was trying to argue with people. I say argue. This is trying to debate with people. When I did the video saying maybe bench Antonio for a game, and I was saying like if we did, Moyes would bring him on at the hour marks, but it's no longer half an hour. You've got about 8 minutes. It's almost like a 40 minutes that the subs are going to have now. They've got that extra 8 minutes in stoppage time in the second half. So I get what Peter's saying. Actually, it is now a 100-minute game, really, isn't it? So
absolutely it is. And you know what? And the thing is, they still do it anyway. And I absolutely look at Brentford and Arsenal as the main culprits because the ball in play time got dragged so low that they started having a look at. I think they started. Certainly in this country, they were. And they haven't stopped doing it. They still waste time. They're happy to waste time and know the 100 minutes. They still do. I don't blame. They have to do something about it, but I'm not sure this has worked.
Luke from the Three, I assume it's Luke from Three Hammers YouTube channel says always VAR fears when playing Liverpool. I think it's Si, I know you're asking for the team along the bottom, but it's there. The team is there, Si. Have a little look. Both teams are on the screen for you. I think we've got Chris Kavanagh is referee today, and if you're wondering who's Chris Kavanagh, if you remember the Balbuena red card against Chelsea, when he cleared it and then caught the guy, that is Chris Kavanagh. Remember when Balbuena cleared it and kicked the Chelsea player?
Oh, yes.
Off for it. That's him. And I think he was the referee in an incident when we played Liverpool. I don't know if it was that one where he allowed the offside goal before VAR. I remember it was at Milner. It stood like a yard offside right in front
of the yes, absolutely, yes.
I don't know if it was that one, but I think there's been a game when we played Liverpool. Something's gone in Liverpool's favour. So I don't think we've got a great track record with Kavanagh in charge. That's if it is him. I think it is. Dylan says, I'm feeling a lot more optimistic than I was before the Liverpool game last year. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Usual suspect says McAllister hasn't played a good game for Liverpool yet. Well, you've obviously watched what I've watched because I didn't think he'd been that great. But in the preview, a couple of Liverpool fans were saying that I was talking nonsense and he's been good. But I've also watched a couple of games, including against Wolves, where he wasn't quite at it. Should I say so? Maybe I just have too high standards. It's Max's birthday.
Happy birthday, Max! Happy birthday.
Collingwood says Paqueta makes angles for passes while barely moving. He's never seen anything like it.
Lazy.
Liam says he's 50% nervous and 60% worried. Can someone do the maths?
It's a bit like the minutes, isn't it? A 90-minute football match.
Gary said Moyes was going to take off Souček last week until Alvarez got injured, so he will take him off.
I think so. And I was pleased to see that. I was absolutely pleased to see that. And that does seem to be the tactic, that keep it tight, then he'll make some attacking substitutions later on.
Darren says Souček is a dog. He will play in this defensive system. Ray is in the Liverpool end. Ray is from Liverpool, so he's obviously got a little friend that's able to get him a ticket. So maybe delete your picture from your account in case there's a Liverpool fan in.
You imagine behind him. Yeah,
hang on a minute. Where's this? Got a screenshot, zoom in. Where is he?
I know. To be fair, the cross-damage tattoo on the back of his neck is probably giving it away.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell anyone he's the manager of Coyotes because they might go there after the game.
No, well, gotta keep it to yourself, definitely.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that to Ray. Bro said the lineup is top drawer. Doofus said Souček would be better if he could pass 5 yards. Finn said Liverpool played this midfield last week against the Wolves and got played through multiple times. Should be promising for some runs at the back four. I agree with that. David Greaves said I think there'll be a send-off today. Unfortunately, Paqueta may be a bit fired up like Rodri yesterday.
I haven't seen that, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen
got all macho, grabs Morgan Gibbs White by the throat, so I hear. Yeah, but there was some falling over, so a bit of diving.
Benny is off the bench. He's improved over the years, but still not a top player. He's still not a player in a top 10 Premier League club. Greg says I get their way to Anfield, but I'd like to see Kudus centrally when we play Sheffield United at home next week. Kudus, Ward-Prowse, and Alvarez as a starting three in midfield. Andrew said he's a Liverpool fan. Good luck for today. Can go either way. West Ham have a good team.
Thank you, Andrew.
Peter said Alvarez needs to zip it and not get booked for back chatting to the rest. We do need to sort that out. It's not just us. Every team needs to sort it out. It's stupid yellow cards. Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson is on 4 bookings already. He gets another yellow card. He's suspended. Paqueta's on 3. Emerson's on 3. So they're 2 yellow cards away from a suspension already. But Jackson's on 4 yellow cards. All 4 are for dissent.
So much. I tell you, my son got a yellow card.
Yeah.
So he's the fine. Yeah. So the fine came through £12. He expected us to pay it.
I hope you gave him dissent back.
I said, you can't gob off at a referee. You're paying it. And he said, I've only got £14. Well, there you go.
I hope he gave you dissent.
I should have charged him for gobbing off at me. No, he's got to pay it himself.
Finn says Gomez and McAllister are the weak links in that defensive setup, or rather McAllister playing in the wrong position with no support. Liam says, I feel like Liverpool deserve all the points they've gotten this season. Looks shaky in most of their games. Or maybe he's trying to say, I don't know, I think he might say don't deserve them because they look shaky. But I never noticed, like Neil pointed, I never noticed they went behind so often, though, and they've conceded. But like I said, they've not conceded more than 1 in any game yet this season. So teams get 1, but nobody's got 2 yet against them. So if you get that second one before they can get involved, then you may...
It'd be nice to get a second against Liverpool. That'd be lovely.
Hopkins, are you both looking at this as a free hit like Man City, or are you hoping that we get an actual result?
Well, I just see opportunity. I see opportunity, and I know it's a real stretch, but you look at that, and then you look at the league table. It's tempting. I'm tempted to see this as a potential win rather than a free hit. I mean, we'd be buzzing. What a week we'd have if we managed to do that.
Billy says, I have a great DLS player, best player out of position. Drop our new wonder kid to the bench. We played a guy who's been poor for the last 2 seasons.
Who's a wonder kid?
Kudus. I think this is...
He's a wonder man. He's a wonder man.
I think this is Mark Warburton's burner account.
It's genius, isn't it? It's all right, Mark. Thanks for joining us earlier in the season.
Robert says, Paqueta or Paqueta? Well, this is Gonzo's fault because Gonzo changes. And at one point earlier in the week, Gonzo actually did a hybrid and said,
what did I say?
Paqueta or something like that. He did both. He managed to join the 2 names together.
Paqueta. It's like Shaka Khan.
You said something. He did a hybrid.
Paqueta. Well, see, the thing is, the island is called Paqueta, right? And he's apparently named after the island. And I started calling him Paqueta because Tony told me to, because Tony's wife's Brazilian. And then they did the... basically, do you remember they did that welcome to West Ham one? And he did the little Instagram post or whatever. He said, my name is Lucas Paqueta. So I changed it to Paqueta, and now I've been told to change it back to Paqueta.
I'm sticking with Paqueta because Paqueta did these things, and I'm called Lucas Paqueta.
He actually did.
Charlie's a Paqueta man, though. There you go. There's Ray in Anfield.
I tell you what, he's a maverick, isn't he? He walks the slippery line. He tweaks the nipple of terror. Does Ray? Honestly, he pokes a finger in the eye of fear, and it's dangerous stuff in the what do they call it? Whatever they bloody call it in Liverpool, the cop end or whatever the bloody, I don't know. Whatever the Bill Shankly stand, I don't bloody know. Whatever they call it up there.
Well, 2 of the stands for someone that knows nothing about it. Anyway, it's time to get your score predictions in. While you are doing that, Mr. Walsh, are you ready? Yes, let's bring him in. Here he is, Charlie. No.
Excellent, Charlie. Excellent.
Yeah, brilliant. Well done. Great start, this.
Excellent.
It's still not working.
This is the good stuff. It's the good stuff. 1,000 live viewers. 900 live viewers, 800 live viewers, 700 live viewers.
Thanks for that, Charlie.
Cheers,
anyway,
Charlie.
While Charlie tries to sort his audio, William's saying 1-1. Luke is saying 2. Please, can you put the team after it? Because I don't want to assume that's West Ham, but I also don't want to assume it's Liverpool just because you put who you're thinking is going to win next to it, please. Alan says 3-1 Liverpool. Vin is 2-1 Liverpool. I heard a little click, so hopefully that's positive news from Walsh's computer.
I heard a pant.
Liam is
not
2-1
underwear.
West Ham.
I mean, like a sty.
Then we've got 3 2-2s in a row. Justin, Daniel, and Major all saying 2-2. Henry's 3-2 West Ham. Shush is 3-1 Liverpool. Tim says 2-0 or 3-1. He's picking 2 scores. Varney's gone 1-1. Minnie's 3-1 West Ham. 3-0 Liverpool, says Home Dinners. Timmy and Robert are saying 2-2. Scampy Brought are also 2-2. Vezza's 2-1 West Ham. Craig's 2-1 West Ham. Pete's 2-1 West Ham. Robert is 2-2. John is 2-1 West Ham. Another 2-0 from Danny. And another one from Jordan. 2-1 West Ham, says Paul. A lot of 2-2s and 2-1 West Hams. There's optimism in the chat, actually. There's more optimism than I was expecting, actually. So this is
Jordan's dog had shades on in his avatar, which I thought was quite good. Robin, that's not a robin. That's like a chaffinch or something. It's not a robin.
Matter. He's not claiming
it should
to be
a robin,
bird.
shouldn't it? If he's got robin,
No.
Is there a robin?
Why can't? Well, that might be Robin's favourite bird.
I seriously still should have gone with the robin.
No. Robin, you do what you want. You have any bird that you wish. Anyway, Charlie, can we hear you yet?
I don't know.
Yay! There we go. You good?
Yeah. Gee, I've had 1 hour sleep today.
Why?
So I am mentally and physically all over the shop.
Why have you had 1 hour sleep?
You know how I just couldn't sleep. I spent 6 hours lying in bed, just unable to sleep. I just couldn't do it.
Just want to interrupt because we don't often get compliments these days. And then this Liverpool fan, not my fake account, I promise you, it said, just watched a lot of fan channels on YouTube, but you two are easily the most likeable I've seen so far. Very balanced takes and still very entertaining. So thank you very much, DRG.
Thank you, Mum. DRG. Thank you.
Much appreciated. So, anyway, Gonzo, you said 2-2 in the preview. Are you sticking with that?
I think I may. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, me as well. I'm sticking with 2-2-2.
Resolute, consistent. Us.
Thanks, Charlie.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
Thank you, Charlie. Gonzo didn't pick up on it.
I
Didn't rate it.
missed?
Nothing.
All right, don't worry.
I said I'm sticking with 2-2-2.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Charlie's the one with 1 hour sleep here, not you.
Yeah.
But he's done a terrible thing there when he said he couldn't get to sleep. The worst thing you could do is lie there and I can't get to sleep because it annoys you. You end up getting annoyed and then you don't get to sleep. You've got to get up.
Major's got advice for Charlie. That's Major's advice. That's not my advice.
Absolutely right.
That's Major's advice.
See, you know how I'm quite. Geo, I'm quite a measured person, and I do have a thing where I think before I speak most of the time. When I've not had sleep, that goes
this should be a good watch along then, isn't it?
My filter goes so I was about to say something I probably would have regretted.
It wasn't
maybe it would have. It might have helped. Who knows?
It wasn't a score prediction, Paul.
2-2 also.
Yeah, the third 2 was TWO rather than TWO. It was just a different 2. 2-2. I don't know. Never mind. I thought it was funny, but we'll leave it there.
It was funny. It was funny, but I feel.
Well, you didn't get it.
Laboured. I mean, I just feel this guy wasn't that funny that it deserves to be spoken about 2 minutes after the joke. Not that funny.
We've got more advice for you, Charlie. This time it's from Peter. He says to don't do it when you're having your baby bell.
Oh, there's no need for that, Peter. There's no need for that. You can't mix up masturbate talk and food talk. They can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. No.
Although Jeff says reading helps, which Geo, you'll be pleased to know. You can't really see it. The book is on the shelf now. It has officially arrived.
Bring it down. Go get it.
That's entertainment. Hang on.
Go get it.
I've got to out.
Thank you to Moisasaurus for the 20 super chat. It says Moisasaurus obsessed with
fine name.
Yeah, I didn't want to read it because I was scared it was a trick.
Yeah, I know.
I can't. I won't read anything more than one word now because I've been caught a couple of times. Not as much as Gonzo, but once or twice I've been caught. So I have you checked page 5, Charlie?
Yeah.
Well, show page 5. There you go. Look at that. To Charlie. All the best, Tony Gale. Look at that.
God, lovely writing.
Very insistent. What Gio likes to do is when he gets you a present is in demand that you tell everyone and show it to everyone, just so he gets all of the. He wants you to give him the credit.
No,
but there we go. I do have Tony Gale's biography there.
Because I sent it to you and I asked if it arrived. You said, "Don't know. There's something downstairs. I'm not going to go." I was worried.
I didn't know.
He hadn't any sleep, had he?
Stolen.
What? I didn't know. I didn't know. I got told, look, there's a parcel for you downstairs, and I went, cool, I can't pick it up at some point.
It's not only that, he lost his
when I got
voice
back,
as well, as you could see at the start of the video.
Yesterday, got back, went down. What did I do? I picked it up, and I straight away, the first thing I did was I messaged you. I messaged you and I went, it was it. I really appreciate that. And now Geo's like, Charlie, can you go grab it? Can you show it on stream? Can you show the sign to everyone? Can you, come on.
His little compliment slip inside the
compliment slip did say
Bevo. So I called him Bevo. Bevo's still kicking around. But the nickname has not died as yet.
No.
Everybody's looking forward to your sleep along. Josh says Liverpool attack confident, but the rest team are pooping it because of our attack. So right, Gonzo, it's time for me and you to disappear. We'll be back at full time. I'll be back at half time to catch up with Charlie. So there's Gonzo. Get rid of him. I'm going to go. Charlie, over to you and have fun.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Gonzo. Appreciate you both. And thank you, everyone, for joining. How are we all? I hope you're well. Hope you're good. This is, of course, the West Ham watch-along for West Ham versus Liverpool in the Premier League. A big game, a difficult game, but maybe not one that was as difficult as it once was. However, this is, of course, a Liverpool team in transition from the first Klopp team that he built into the second one, and they're slowly but surely getting there. So definitely a difficult match. And actually, I agree with what Gio said at the beginning with the idea of this being a free hit. That was something that he introduced into my lexicon, and I very much agree with. I think this one is a free hit, but in that sense, I'm quite excited for it. We're going to go through the lineups in a second. We're going to go through everything, but I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I have had 1 hour sleep. So if at any point you're like, oh, this game's just pissing me off, you should come and see how much it's pissing someone off who has no filter today. Because I'm usually a very measured person. That's gone. That's not happening today. So we'll see how that goes together. And there are ways to watch the game if you aren't able to watch it, which we'll go through. However, before all that, we start as we always do on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham win? As I will run through the teams in just a moment. Ben, good to see you, sir. How are you? I hope you're well. If you've ever used the link off of the Discord, of which I'll be talking about in a second, make sure to thank Ben Athers. Beautiful boy. Beautiful boy. How are you, bro? I hope you're good. I don't drink coffee. I do have a tea here, but I don't drink coffee, and I also don't have decaf tea, so that's going to go well for me. Michael, good to see you, sir. Hope you're all well. If you lot aren't going to see Michael as he tours the UK, well, I said he's playing Loughton specifically, I know that one. I haven't seen if you're doing any other dates, Michael, so I won't say tour just yet, but check it out. Michael Levy Jr., a wonderful man. Right, let's have a look at these starting lineups, shall we? They are scrolling across the bottom of the screen. However, let's pull them up properly as a picture. I haven't tested this button. Let's see if it works. Imagine if it does, that would be lovely. Oh my god, it does. You love to see it. It's even the updated one with Ogbonna on it. West Ham lineup as such. Areola in goal with Soufal, Zuma, Aged and Emerson in defence. We have Alvarez, Souček and Ward-Prowse in midfield with Paqueta as... Gonzo called me posh, by the way. If I wasn't on stream at that point, then no filter would have happened. I just say it how I've been told to say it by people who speak the language. Paqueta, Bowen on the other, and Antonio up front. It's a predictable lineup, as people have said, but it's probably also the lineup I would have gone with. I think that's our strongest 11 for a game like this. I think the beauty of the system of bringing in people like Kudus, who's on the bench today, of bringing in people like Alvarez and Ward-Prowse, and while keeping someone like Thomas Souček and Paqueta, is all of a sudden it gives us options to play with when we go for starting 11s. And so when we're going up against a team as good as Liverpool, for example, I think this is our strongest 11. I think in this game, and Manchester City, for example, this is our strongest 11. It's the 11 I would go with as well. I'm quite happy with it. I understand people's disagreements with it. I'm really excited to see Kudus come off the bench, but from a starting 11 standpoint, I think that's really good. And actually, as I think it was Geo and Gonzo, I can't remember who it was, one of the two, pointed out the fact that Liverpool are playing Joe Gomez as opposed to anyone else at right back could actually help Paqueta even more than that. But let's have a look at some of these numbers before we get onto the bench. Check your phone. You went to the game, didn't you? You've gone to the game, which is always... It says video can't be played, so I can't click on it. But I know Ray has gone to the game. Obviously, the Liverpool living legend himself. So I can only imagine the problems you are causing. 6, 3, 7.5, 1, 7, 11, 4, 7, 5, 7 even, 5. 5. I suspect it might be too much for me to fall asleep live. Well, I have done that. I have fallen asleep on a podcast before, so you know. 5, 6.5, 7, 50% confidence, 60% worried, 100% concentrated power of the will. Is that where we're going with that, Liam? That's where I'm going with it. 3, to be honest. 8, 8, 6.5, 4.5. Scott, good to see you, sir. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're good, my friend. Hope things are all going well for you. 6. Chuck's here as well. Chuck, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're good. Need to get you back on 2 spanners at some point. 7. King Charles, thank you very much, Joe. Not King at all, but we'll see what happens. Good to see you, Richard, as always. Like I say, I think it's a strong lineup. I do think it is a strong 11 for us, and I understand there might be some elements of disappointment in terms of maybe Souček starting or Kudus not starting, for example. But I think in general, there is sugar in there, so hopefully that'll help in the tea days. So I would go with this. The bench specifically, looking towards it, Fabianski is on the bench. A 9-man bench, although it still feels slightly weak and slightly awkward to me. I don't know why. But Fabianski, Fornals, Kudus, Mavropanos, Cornet, Ings, Ogbonna, Benrahma, and Kehrer in positional order. That would be Fabianski, Mavropanos, Ogbonna, Kehrer, Fornals, Benrahma, Kudus, Cornet, and Ings. There's game changers on there, which is nice. That's what one of the things I like about having Kudus as a bench option as opposed to someone starting. It means that we have someone on the bench we can bring on who's going to really impact things. Cornet on the other side, I think, does something quite similar, although obviously has yet to really prove that. I think with us, I think there's been times where he's shown it. There's been other times where he hasn't. Also, he only gets about 2 minutes at the end of every game at this stage, but Kudus specifically being that guy. Benrahma, obviously someone we know has the ability to come on and do things. It's just the consistency and decision making, in my opinion, that's a bit wonky. But specifically, he's another guy there, along with Pablo Fornals, who can bring a faster pace of passing and that kind of stuff. I don't know. There's options here. I mean, we have Danny Ings on the bench, which is a problem. But that we move. I think that's all right. I think that's probably as strong as we were going to get. If we're being honest about it, I think that's probably as strong as we were going to get. I like the lineup. The bench, again, like I say, I would prefer. Maybe it's because we don't have fullbacks on there. I mean, Kehrer, I guess you can make the argument for, but I think maybe that's what's worrying me about it. I don't know. The Liverpool side, however, has other things to worry about. Alisson starts in goal with Joe Gomez, Matip, Virgil van Dijk, and Robertson. In defence, we have McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Jones in midfield, with Diaz and Salah on either side of Darwin Núñez. It's just a very strong team in it, if we're being honest about it. It's just a very strong team. It's the second team that Klopp is trying to build. It's taking him some time, but that midfield 3 specifically, if McAllister, or midfield 2, the 2 new guys with McAllister and Szoboszlai, who's still relatively new, they sort of fit in perfectly. I think that's starting to really work for them, and you can see how Núñez is starting to come good. Salah they've kept, although they might end up losing him, but Salah kept. Diaz is doing well. They obviously have Gakpo as well. It's a strong side. Their bench, Kelleher, Endo, De Konate, Gakpo, Elliot, Jota, Tsimikas, Gravenberch, and Konsa. In positional order, that would be Kelleher, Konate, Tsimikas, Konsa is the defender as well, I believe. You've got midfielders like Gravenberch, Elliot in there, and then up front, Mendo, and then up front you've got Jota and Gakpo. It's a really strong team. It is a very strong team, and they are definitely getting there. As much as it is in the transitional point, and they aren't the Liverpool they were 3 seasons ago, they're still an incredibly strong team, and they have a lot of people who can damage you. For example, Salah up against Emerson's going to be a dangerous day. Diaz up against Sufal is going to be a dangerous day, and Darwin Núñez can just kick you from anywhere and score. So there is definitely stuff to worry about, but I think if we play our game, I can't act like I'm terrified right now. So when we do look at, say, the numbers, the confidence levels, I'm not going to sit here and it's not going to be lower than a 5. I'm not going to be super confident. I can't be sitting here and thinking, look, we're going to smash them. But I think we'll give them a game, and that's all I can ask for. When Geo used the free hit this 3-hit idea, which I strongly agree with, I look at that and think, right, as long as we give them a game, then I'm happy with it. I'm more concerned about the performance than I am the result, as it were. And I think with the form that we've got going on, with the players we've got on the pitch, I think we can give these lot a game. And that's all I'm asking for today. That's all I'm asking for. Danny does look a little bit worried. Also, Eltel, I did see what you say. I watched the highlights of the Grand Prix. I didn't watch it live, because at that point I was still hoping to sleep. But I did watch the highlights. If that helps. I'm the only one at Pamela's chat who likes Formula 1, so I can talk about that. Yeah, I think will give them a game. But, you know, we'll see. From the honeymooners in Portugal, living it up in Portugal, Judas, my trustworthy friend, how are you? And say hello to Mrs. Judas as well, of course, and enjoy Portugal. I forgot that you'd be on your honeymoon. I hope you enjoy it, bro. Hope you enjoy it. We need to see Kudus on earlier than the 89th minute. That's definitely true, Mike. Mike is 100% accurate with that. And I think we will. I think Bowen's the only person who I would have considered making the change for in this lineup. The two lineups are running along the bottom of your screen now. Bowen's the only one I would have considered for, and that's mainly because I don't know how fit he is. He's obviously not been training properly. He missed the game. He's obviously been training in isolation because of illness and all that other sort of stuff. If Moyes has been said, yeah, he's completely fine to play, it's just, you know, he might be a little bit less up to scratch than everyone else or whatever, then yeah, I guess you would start him. But again, that's one of the joys of having Kudus in his team and not having him have to be starting every single game without fail, is the fact that we can take our time with these things. And if Bowen, you know, maybe he'll start blowing a little bit earlier because he hasn't had that training that everyone else has had, we can lob him in 60 minutes, 65 minutes, something like that, and really impact the game. I love that about this. I don't think we have to. We don't have to start every big player all the time. I love that idea for us. I really do. Really do. I do. I love Suzuka as well. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend. I flipping love the Japanese Grand Prix is the best, man. Japanese Grand Prix is one of my favourites. It's up there with Brazil. I love Monaco, despite all of Monaco's problems. I do love Monaco, but Japan's up there with like Brazil for me as well. Brazil, I love the first Formula One I ever watched was the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hamilton versus was it Felipe Massa, wasn't it? So, yeah. I wondered why he's just here. We're of course in the holiday home this week, of course, because it is not available to watch in the UK. So my friend Danny DeVito has flown me across to our holiday home in North Idaho together so we can watch the game. But if you were looking for a way to watch it, if you're wondering, I don't know how to do it, there's no way to do it. There definitely are. You should link in the description below. There's a bit there called Join Our Discord. If you scroll down, click on that. It's a lovely West Ham Hammers Chat community. Fans of all clubs are welcome. But more importantly, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a bit called Streamlinks, in which I've been reliably informed you will find what you're looking for. Yeah, good luck with that one there, because as I just said, I've had 1 hour's sleep, so if anyone appreciates it, it's me, and good luck. Good luck, bro. Stress, absolute stress. Let's get sub bingo going, shall we? We've spoken about the subs. Let's get that quickly before we get on to score predictions. So hold those in before we lock those in just at the end. The bench once more. If you weren't around, Fabianski, Mavropanos, Kera, Ogbonna, Fornals, Kudos, Cornet, Benrahma, and Ings. What will be your first substitution? Who do you think David Moyes will make a substitute for, and when do you think it will happen? The players are running on the bottom screen. If you want to add a little bit of those bonus, bit style points for including player, but really the minutes on anything that matters. I'm gonna say 69, and I'm gonna say Benrahma for. I'm gonna say 6. No, Kudos is interesting, but I'm gonna say Benrahma for. No, do you know what? I'm going to back Kudus for Bowen. I'm going to back what I said. Kudus for Bowen is what I'm going to go for. Don't know if it's true, but that's what I'm going to go for. Kevin, good afternoon, Charlie. I hope you are set for a point today. I would be very happy with a point. Again, I'm more concerned about the performance than I am the result. So as long as we give them a game, I don't really mind what the score is too much. As long as we don't get, if you get overrun, then it is what it is. But yeah, that's my vibe. That's my vibe. Score predictions will be coming along in just a second. Yeah. I would describe him as my mentor, is what I would do. You know, a guide through life, someone who, you know, can I could turn to at any point, and he give me words of wisdom to live by. That's how I would describe our relationship personally. He might describe it differently. But that's how I would describe it. Yeah, you're in a bit of an L situation because. Doesn't sound like it's going to go well in the sleep department for you, so does not sound like it's going to go well. Kudus and Bowen Maramba both on at the 74th minute for Souček and Bowen. This is the thing I was thinking, was he going to take off Souček? But I can't see him taking off Souček because we're probably going to need to carry on defending. I don't know, it's such a difficult one to figure out. 55 minutes, Benny for Kudus 65 minutes, good afternoon Mike. Mick, good afternoon sir, hope you well. 73, Kudus for ? I think that's fair. Kudus at half time. I'd love to see him come on at half time, that'd be a nice change of pace. Hope it's Kudus, 61 minutes. Kudus for Bowen. I don't really understand Moyes. Many people would agree. Oh, yeah, I would say many people agree. Probably even some of us, if we're being honest about it. Mavropanos for Antonio after 40 minutes to shore it up at the back. Yeah. Love that. That means we might be winning. Might be winning. So I started blasting. Pow. Started watching the new season that went up on Netflix last night. That's one thing I did do. So I've watched one episode of that, which is very exciting. Double sub, Kudos and Benny for Souček and Antonio in the 65th minute. Stick Kudos on the left and Bowen on the right. Bosch. It's an interesting idea, TSC, because he's never played on the left. So it's a. I wish what an incredible time that would be to be live. I think it's an interesting idea. It's one of those things where he's never played there, so I don't know. I just don't know, but it'll be interesting to see if it ends up happening. I would like to see it just to see how effective he could be there, but with the defensive responsibilities and stuff, I don't know. I just have doubts about it, but I want to see it because I have no idea how it would work. And if we could get a situation, look, ideally, listen, if we want all of our best players on the pitch at the same time, if we could get Kudos on and he is working on the left wing, then it would solve a problem for us, certainly. There is a timer in the top corner here because I will, of course, be slightly behind you. I'm in North Idaho, there's internet lag and all that sort of stuff. So I will be ever so slightly behind you, but the timer will tell you exactly how far behind you I am. We, of course, are live today coming from Anfield. It's the Premier League. It's Liverpool versus West Ham United. Let's get those score predictions, shall we? It's time to lock them in. We've spoken about the teams. We've spoken about the lineups. We've spoken about the subs. We've spoken about Danny DeVito specifically. We've spoken about it from all angles, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those score predictions and let's lock them in. Let's lock them in. So predictable. I wonder if I used to pick a team. It's predictable, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem right now. When we're winning, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. I think if it was going poorly and we were still doing the same thing over and over again, bashing your head against the wall in that sense, I think there would be somewhat of an issue about it. But realistically, when we're winning, I'm not too mad about it personally. I'm not too mad about it. Although I don't necessarily disagree with you. I've just got back 2-0 my score prediction, I'm afraid. Listen, I respect it. I respect it entirely. I don't know what mine is yet, but my gut reaction was something similar. And as we go through these score predictions, I will remind you that we are live throughout the rest of the game. I will be live up until half time. Geo will come and relieve me, so I can go to the toilet, basically. And then I will be back for the second half, all the way through till full time, when Geo Gonzo will be live for the full time review. So make sure to stick around if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe to Hammers Chat because we're the most consistent fan channel when it comes to watch-alongs in the West Ham space. Only missed 4 in 4 seasons, and 2 of those have been this year, just to give you some idea of how consistent we have been over the years. I just missed 1 through tonsillitis, for example, this season. And even now, when I've had 1 hour's sleep, we're still here. So if you are looking for a way to keep up the game, talk with West Ham fans while Jim Max is going on, get their opinions on the vibe, but also, hey, if you're looking for ways to keep up the match with streams and all that sort of stuff, then I would highly recommend you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos, and like the video, because that helps us out massively. If you hit the like button, we aim for 300 every single stream. That's our goal for the watch along. It's 300. Once we hit that, it's past that's house money. We can vibe our way through. The other thing I should say is the poll. We never got the poll results, so let's end that as we go through a couple more. Hammers 3, Liverpool 2. Love that. 2-1. I really want a 2-1, but I would take a draw any day of the week. Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, to be fair. 3-1 Hammers. Boom. 3-2. 2-1 to the cheating Scouts. Listen, I'm not gonna prejudge them. I'm gonna prejudge them in that sense. And we're ready for it all over again. I'm not, but we as a collective, I'm sure, are. 3-1 to the Irons, 3-0 to Liverpool, sadly, 2-1, 3-2 to Liverpool. Let's have a look at those lineups, polls as well. How do you feel about the starting 11? 64% said it's good, 23% were very happy, 9% said it's poor, and 3% were very unhappy. A little bit more negative as it has been recently, but you got to respect it. Still a very positive outlook in that sense. Still a very positive outlook. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a few moments away from kickoff here at Anfield. I am of course watching in North Idaho, so there'll be a little bit of lag. However, if you are looking for ways to watch the game, you definitely can. Scroll down into the link in the description below. There's a bit there called join our Discord. If you click on that, there's a lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are welcome, however, but more importantly, if you scroll down on the left hand side, there's a bit called stream links in which you will find what you're looking for. West Ham United versus Liverpool in the Premier League, going to be getting underway in just any minute now. He was down with the flu. He is back for today, though. Late fitness test. Apparently, he passed it. So there we go. Let's going to be a day of me clicking through things to change the North Idaho TV network channels to try and get it working. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be one of those days. 3-2. I love it. There is definitely a bit of vibes, a bit of confidence in the chat. You know, I'm certainly not sitting here saying that we're all thinking West Ham are going to win 100% or anything like that. But there certainly is a bit more confidence than I would expect. There's some realism as well, 2-2s and 2-0s. I don't know if I'm going to stick my neck out on the line. I'd say 2-1 Liverpool, but as long as we give them a game, then I'm happy with that. However, I'm loving the confidence. I'm loving the confidence. And we are... Is that right? Yeah, we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. At Anfield, it's West Ham United versus Liverpool in the Premier League. This button's not working. Let that work. There we go. Come on, your minds. Deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things. West Ham, Liverpool. Let's get this going. Instantly problems. Instantly problems for me. We're just going to keep them to go until we find one that's happening. Until we find one that's happening. Big game. Big game. And actually a huge test. If we somehow manage to just get away with this, if we got some points out of this would be such a massive win. Again, or any points whatsoever, I think would be a huge result for us. I don't think... banger, Reece. Decker's absolute banger. Absolute banger again. I feel like if we could get anything out of this game, it would be a huge dub. I would be very, very, very happy with that indeed. I'm not expecting it, but listen, if we managed it somehow, it would be really good. Oh my god, I'm having such issues. Yeah, there's just tons of them, just everywhere, mate. The bears, lots of wildlife. You see it around, you know. You see it around because we're not in a city or anything. So you see them just around. You see them just roaming the roads. But it's fine because you know you take the rough with the smooth in these situations. You take the rough with the smooth. Getting an extended look at the refs taping stuff to themselves here. Ref has got an electronics issue, as Ionix has just said. He's being strapped up. Something fierce. We'll just stick on this one. Seems it's working. Retesh Bowen, he is starting today, sir. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Do you think Banny could take a bear? I'm thinking about that for the wrestling folks. Do you remember that time Daniel Bryan was talking about bears on commentary? I think this is on Main Event or something. Think about that. He could beat a lot of people, but could he beat a bear? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, he could beat a bear. With smarts and intelligence. That's what I'm going to say. With smarts and intelligence. I am back, Jay. I am. I was here for the last game as well. We're back full time now, swinging. Yes, that is why I'm disguised. You've got to, blend into the surroundings when you're going to the shops to get like a Twix and a Lucozade Sport. You've got to, disguise yourselves. Got to disguise yourself. Right, it looks like we're about to get underway properly here. The electronics problem has subsided. The ref has walked to the middle of the pitch. He looks at the watch. We're about to get underway properly here at Anfield. West Ham United versus Liverpool in the Premier League. We're underway. Come on, your irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things. Like I say, any sort of points here would be lovely. I tell you what, we start early. It's be nice. We're trying to force it. Souček can't quite find Bowen. We're pushing it. Antonio definitely looks offside there, by the way. And he was. But I was intrigued by... I was watching the video Geo did with the Liverpool fan when it got up. I think it went up yesterday. I was intrigued by what the Liverpool fan was saying and sort of giving me a little bit of hope that if we started well in this game, it could suit us well. Liverpool passing it around at the back at the moment, doing that thing every Premier League team does now, where the centre backs and the goalkeepers sort of pass it around each other, trying to draw us out of position. It's a smart thing to do against us, isn't it? and then trying to break with pace. They've obviously got Diaz, Salah, people like that who can really fly forward if they need to. Although we've played out of that beautifully. Emerson getting forward, finds James Ward-Prowse. This is really nice play from us, I'll be honest. Oh, that's a nice pass as well from James Ward-Prowse out to Soufal. The ball in's going to have to be special. Punched away from Alisson, although not comfortably. Liverpool do manage to clear it away, but it was lovely play in the build-up to that. Lovely play in the build-up to that. Yeah, I probably am. Given the North Idaho delay and all that. That is where I'm at though. So if you're looking for exactly how far behind I am, yeah, you can get it. Yeah, you can get. You'd be surprised. You can get most things. That I would say it almost has the exact same lineup as like a Tesco, for example. Meal deal and all, you know. Surprisingly, Joe Gomez trying to flick it out to Szoboszlai. Oh, nice turn from Salah there. To be fair, although great recovery there from Emerson. Just got back on the right side of him. Just didn't let him get him forward too much. Again, Liverpool look to be taking their time here at the back, passing it around comfortably and calmly, looking to try and draw us out. Oh, love that from Alvarez, just getting in there, shouldering Diaz away. Well, it wasn't Diaz, was it? I don't know who it was. It's whoever's the third midfielder. Who's the third midfielder? Is it Jones? I can't remember. It is Jones. It is Jones. It was Jones. He strolled. Not that matters. Because that's what Liverpool are going to want to do here. They're trying to play the ball forward now. Jones out wide to Diaz. Back to Jones. And again, we're covering the space as well. Because that's what they're going to want to do. Look, every team knows how we play. And that predictability isn't necessarily a bad thing. Every team know how Pep Guardiola plays, for example. And it's still difficult. It's still difficult to play against them. Now, obviously, we are nowhere near. Salah trying a little stabbed shot come across to the outside of the boot. It was very emphatic. Nowhere close, but you'll respect the effort. The idea of obviously we are no Pep Guardiola, we are no Manchester City, we aren't that good, but it still raises the point that actually being predictable isn't necessarily a bad thing. And Liverpool are doing what we've seen a lot of teams do against us, and what a lot of teams do just in the Premier League in general now, especially after De Zerbi. Even we do it a little bit. But the idea of just passing it around at the back, trying to draw us out of position, trying to get us to press, trying to get us to get impatient. Oh, nicely done from James Ward-Prowse. There's going to be a free kick against Lucas Paqueta there, but I'm liking James Ward-Prowse's early quick passing today. And they can do that, that's fine, as long as we don't get drawn into it too much, because Liverpool do have the power and pace to play in behind us if we were to get a little bit too giddy about it. But I trust us to be a little bit sensible about it. We're getting drawn in a little bit. Alvarez is a little bit far forward there, although it's still very compact. And the idea of maybe Souček and Alvarez sort of rotating a bit, not necessarily a bad thing if it works. Look at that Kurt Zouma just chasing down Jones there, just not letting him go. It's all kinds of terrifying defensively, but I love the energy from him. Comes forward, Matip looking in to try and find Núñez. Oh, it's flipping crashed. It was going so well. Núñez in the box, maybe shot, maybe scored, who knows? Doubt it. I look in the chat, there's no people saying go. Oh, we've skipped super far forward. And West Ham are in control of the ball up the other end of the pitch. Mikel Antonio battling for it. Does well. I'm going to have to change the time in a second. Played in. Paqueta. It's Souček. Oh, my God. Saved from Alisson. Incredibly close. That is a great save from Alisson. We've skipped about a minute ahead, which is lovely to see. But Thomas Souček in the box, almost getting the goal. Mikel Antonio battling really strongly for it, really well. Alvarez getting involved in the play, plays it back, just lays it back to Paqueta, who first time flicks it in towards the box. And Thomas Souček in the area, almost in the 6-yard box, gets well up high. And I tell you what, Alisson does really well there. He has to bot backwards, jump back and hook it away. He did really, really well there to stop that. And it's going to be a corner to West Ham. These are the times where we are going to be dangerous compared to Liverpool. They don't have as many big men as we do. James Ward-Prowse in. Ooh, looking for that. looking for that front post that Thomas Tuchel scored against Europe in the third goal. Didn't quite work out that time. Liverpool just scrambling it, clearing it. It's a scramble, although it lands at the feet of Luis Diaz, who tries to get forward. And oh yes, love that from who was that? Was that Aged getting back? That was beautiful stuff. That was beautiful stuff from Aged. I don't think you're wrong, Eduardo. I mean, look, it was Aged who got back. That was beautiful from Aged. Great defending. I feel like the I mean, I was very for the idea of bringing Thomas Tuchel on in the European game, and he obviously ended up to score in that game. I do think there are huge benefits to him playing. I know people don't like him, and obviously the passing problem is always a problem. But if you can play a system like we do currently, where he's not involved in that build-up play, I think there's such huge benefits to Thomas Tuchel playing, and that's definitely one of them. Oh my God, it's the ginger Andy sir. Good to see. Ball into Antonio, heads it. Oh, just wide. That's such a good opportunity. I tell you what, Ginge would have scored that. Ginger Andy Carroll would have scored that. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're well. There are streaming sites. If you're looking for a way to watch the game, I would highly recommend our Discord. Mikel Antonio coming very, very close there. Bowen finds Thomas Tuchel, who just looks up. He sees Antonio, who's onside because of Andy Robertson, who just peels away. He's free at the back, and it's just an awful header. He just doesn't... is he put off slightly from the defender? I'm not sure. From Joe Gomez? I'm not sure. But the fact he's not even got that on target is insane. A wonderful opportunity. We've started this game really brightly. Really, really brightly. Jones plays it forward, though. This is a good counter-attack from Liverpool. Nunes thankfully cut out there from Aged. Oh, and a beautiful turn from Paqueta. That was beautiful. And lays it forward to Mikel Antonio within a free kick. I tell you what, that is a really nice play from Paqueta. We've started this game really brightly. Really, really brightly. Good to see you, Toby. Hope you're well, bro. I feel like I don't want to... The commentator there talking about missing the chances and whether or not that's a problem. Obviously, yes. If we could miss those and rue them after. But we started really brightly. We're creating opportunities, and defensively they don't look as solid as they would potentially want to be. Jared Bowen going up against Virgil van Dijk in a head race there. A head race? That's the way I've decided to word that. But we're starting really bright. I'm liking this from so far. I'm really liking this so far. Really like this team, man. I really like this West Ham team. There's so much to like about it. Look at that. Bad pass from Virgil van Dijk straight into the feet of Paqueta, who takes his time, controls it nicely, finds Emerson on the overlap. Little flick back to Emerson, back to Paqueta, back to Emerson. West Ham forced back a little bit, but that's fine. As long as we keep possession, that's fine. He really should have. He should have at least got it on target. Got to score that. 100%. 100%. Sat in a football stadium while watching the stream on my lunch break. Love days like this. Work at a football stadium. When I first read that, my brain went, wait, you're at the game. But you work at a football stadium. Love that, Cameron. Love that. Hope you're having a good day, bro. Hope you're having a good day. Mikel Antonio just pulled down there. That physical battle with him and Matip's going to be on running today. I think that's why they chose Matip over Konate. I think Matip's slightly better in the air. Obviously, a big physical guy like Konate. He's maybe not as fast, but he is super physical, and in the air he's strong, and we know we're going to play those big balls across to Antonio. That physical battle is going to be on running for the rest of the game. Anthony, I think I speak for all West Ham fans when I say that Edson is a beautiful player. Edson is so good. I am super happy with Edson Alvarez. I was happy when we signed him, and watching him play, I'm even happier now. What a guy. What a guy. Liverpool now taking their time, trying to find their way forward. They're not really getting the access to our defence that they want. And there he is again, Edson. Edson just diving in. Good stuff. We're defending well here. We're defending well and we're attacking well. Interestingly, Interestingly, Antonio's quite deep there and quite wide on the left-hand side in our defensive shape. Trying to flick it forward. Liverpool can't quite manage it. West Ham gain possession of the ball. Again, flicking it forward again, and there's Joel Matip. That's what I'm saying. That's the joy of playing Joel Matip in that position. We tried to flick it forward to Antonio. He's just big, bruising foot defender who can just tower above everyone. And it's a free kick in a decent position for Liverpool. Interesting defensive shape there. Paqueta dropping deep into that sort of left back position as we go to the 5-4. It's almost like a 5-5, but a 5-4-1. And it saw Mikel Antonio dropping into sort of the left mid position with Jared Bowen sort of staying forward. I wonder if that's something we'll see going forward. That's something we've seen so far. Again, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, there are definitely ways you can do it. Andy Robertson standing over the free kick alongside, I think that's Szoboszlai. It's in a decent position. You'd probably be a bit too far away to shoot, though. Szoboszlai hits it straight off the ball. We take that. Straight off the ball. We take that. I was going to say, it looked a bit far to shoot. Szoboszlai looked like he's going for it, though. Paqueta is so good in those positions. LFC for life says Liverpool winning. West Ham is trash. Liverpool winning. What I'm going to do, Liverpool for life. I don't mind you being here, but I'm just going to put you in timeout for now. Come up with a better bit, and then come back. Or just get involved in the chat in general. If you want to get involved in the chat, you're welcome to stick around, bro. You're welcome to sit around, get involved in the chat. Despite us being a West Ham fan channel, all fans of all clubs are welcome, even the opposition. But if you're going to do a bit like that, come on with it. Gomez flicks it on to Mohamed Salah. Brilliantly done from Paqueta again. And then he just little step over. He is having a great game so far, Paqueta. Really good stuff. Gets in there, wins the ball off Salah, takes it off him like it was nothing. And then a little step over, dropped shoulder, takes it past McAllister like he wasn't even there. Foul, wins the free kick. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Big ping across. It's a poor free kick. We're pinging it across, looking for Sufal. It doesn't work out. Thankfully, we come over the ball. But Shamrock Jerry, hi from Dublin, Ireland. Good to see you, Shamrock. I hope you're well, Jerry, bro. Hope you're well. Hope Dublin is treating you well. Oh, wow, Paqueta again just steaming in there. He's playing so well today. Oh, it was a nice idea from Edson Alvarez there, trying to curve it into the path of Thomas Suchek. Doesn't quite manage it, but I love the idea. Oh, Nunes flicks it on now to Diaz. This is a dangerous scenario. Although they don't have any numbers and they're not in a great position. Oh, Diaz almost finds it, but there is Mohamed Salah. First touch, it goes down. That's a penalty. It's pointing to the spot. There wasn't really much on as well. That's the most annoying part about it. The pass from Diaz goes behind Nunes, who's charging through the centre, and Nunes just sort of sticks a foot out. It deflects off him into the path of. Yeah, again, it's as clear a penalty as you're ever going to see. It's annoying because there really wasn't that great an opportunity on. The ball goes flying forward. Diaz picks up the ball on the left-hand side. Nunes goes charging through the centre just behind Zuma, sticks his foot out when it's going behind him, and it ends up bouncing to Salah. And again, he just sets himself up in such an awkward way, and he ends up taking down Salah in the most obvious of manners. It's going to be a penalty to Liverpool. Mohamed Salah's the guy who's going to take it. Areola not exactly a penalty specialist. And Salah smashes it down the middle. It's 1-0 Liverpool. It's a shame because we've done so well so far. We've started the better of the two teams, arguably, and I think it's been a really fun start to the game. But unfortunately for us, that's how easy it happens. That's how easy it happens. Liverpool 1, West Ham 0. That's a massive shame. We've started so strongly, and there really wasn't that much on from that counter-attack. That's the only option he really had. And yeah, Salah just absolutely smashes it. Sends Areola the wrong way, and it's 1-0. It's a shame. Dean, how are you, sir? Hope you're well. Hope you're good. you forced your own luck, right? You forced your own luck. You forced your own luck. Timing is beautiful, Dean. The timing is beautiful. I just remembered that there was a full-time fund dono earlier, and I didn't get it. I didn't put it in the thing. I wasn't going to put the full name, Moisasaurus, but I thought it would be disrespectful not to, given how good of a name it is. So we've locked the full name in there. If you're still around, thank you very much for the 20 krona, massively appreciated. It's so annoying. It's such a shame because we're doing so well in the early stages, but again, he just doesn't set himself up well. He sort of jumps and lands in an awkward way, and Salah's already taken it past him. I mean, Salah will do that to the best of defenders. It's not necessarily a massive knock on Aged that sense, but he just sets himself up wrong to try and stop it, and it's awkward, sticks a foot out, and obviously Salah goes down. Is what it is. It's there's no doubt whether that's a penalty or anything like that. It's as clear a penalty as you're ever going to see. Oh, beautifully done there from Kurt Zouma, battling with Noonan. Although a little bit awkward there in the play out. Hopefully we don't lose our cool a little bit, because we started this game really well. We started it so strongly. And I hope we don't find ourselves in a situation where we start to panic and let it get away from us. Although that ball's got away from Jared Bowen, who manages to collect it. Tries to find his way past Szoboszlai, but he had two men on him there, Szoboszlai and Robertson. Flicked across for Mohamed Salah. Trying to find a bit of space. It's back to Geo Gonzo, who plays it in. They're looking for another penalty. Nunes there. Nunes, I don't think that one was a penalty. Edson Alvarez helping him back up. It will go to VAR, but from first look in real time, I don't think that one was a penalty. It's a good ball in from Gomez, to be fair. Yeah, I don't think that one was a pen. The one angle that we've seen it from was a bit awkward, but VAR seems to have checked and said no, because we're gonna get the corner regardless. Andy Robertson to take it on the left hand side. Again, we should be strong and okay from corners. We should be strong and okay from corners. Whipped in. That was almost a case of speaking too soon, but thankfully Virgil powers it over from his feet rather than a head. Played in. Goes over Zuma, goes over Souček, and lands at the feet of Virgil, who smashes it over. Yeah, it's a shame, Mosh. It's a shame. It's a shame. 2-0 is... Look, we're down, but we're not out. We're certainly still playing the way we were playing before it, but maybe a little bit less confident. All of Alisson, Jesus Christ, talking about unconfident. Alisson's charging out there. Maybe misjudging it, I don't know, but ending up having to header it away. It's going to be a throw-in a really nice position for us. A really nice position. Although, having said that, throw-ins for us typically don't go that well. So we'll see. Oh, it's caught. Would it go all the way for a corner? It went all the way out for a corner. Ignore that. It went all the way out for a corner. James Ward-Prowse is going to take it. I don't know. He was complaining about something going on. He was complaining about something, but he's taking it anyway. James Ward-Prowse from the right-hand side. All the big men in there. Whips it in. Ooh, just over the top of Souček there. Shot the far side from Emerson to flex back out off a Liverpool player. Sofal tries to hook it back towards, and it's booted away solidly by Liverpool, who can't quite get there. It's going to be a throw-in for us on the halfway line on the left-hand side. Where can I watch Matthew? It depends where you are. It's obviously not live in the UK, but there are definitely ways you can watch it. There's places like Opta Sports, Astro Supersport, depending on where you are. There's lots of different places that are showing it. But bloody hell, are we at 399 likes already? I did not realise that. First of all, thank you for showing us that, because I didn't know that. We're at 399. What a time to be alive! Because we aim for the 300 mark every single game for the watch-alongs. But if we've already flown past that, then we are flying. Liverpool coming forward as I hit the refresh. Looking to try and pass their way forward. They're taking their time here, Liverpool. Ooh, we're at 4-7-1 already. We are firmly... We're in good territory. We could blast... What's our record this season? I think we might already be in territory of beating our record this season for likes, you know. Mad. Thank you very much, everyone. We're absolutely fine. Liverpool passing it around at the moment in the midfield area. Their defenders getting involved with it. Just again taking their time, trying to draw us out of position. Once you're in basically in a half, there's no chance of us drawing us out at all. There's just zero chance of it happening. So they can take their time and try and find the spaces, but that's just not going to happen. And it's not entirely shocking that their goal came from a counter-attack. Or at least the penalty came from a counter-attack. Salah looking for Gomez on the overlap. Doesn't quite manage it. I know someone who's a Charlton fan. I'm seeing a lot of calls for Bells. Has there been enough? There hasn't been enough calls for Bells just yet, but I can see the calls happening. A friend of mine who's a Charlton fan, or a guy I know, he's a Charlton fan. When Joe Gomez was coming through the academy, was like rant and rave about him. And I was like, oh really? Oh, that's good. I think it must have been Joe Gomez. He came through Charlton, right? And then Joe Gomez went on to be really good, so fair play to him. Fair play to him. That's a nice ball out from James Ward-Prowse into the path of Jared Bowen. He's got Paqueta alongside him. Soufal on the overlap. Finds Soufal. Takes the touch to take it round Robertson. It's going to be a free kick. We'll be taking that. Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate that. We've had enough calls for Bells already. I'm shocked, but we're going to call it. Well, I'm not necessarily shocked. We are 1-0 down, but let's get that poll up, ladies and gentlemen, for Bell. Given it's a little bit earlier in the game, maybe we'll give it a little bit longer to play out. Maybe 2 minutes as opposed to the usual 90 seconds. So we'll give it until 26, just in case. We've had enough calls. Charity, good to see you. Yeah, I am as well. I'm happy with how we're playing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here buzzing about how it's going, but I am certainly happy about how we've played so far, if not the result. And that's the bigger thing for me. James Ward-Prowse, free kick on the right-hand side. Basically corner position, essentially. Whips it in. That's not bad. Souček and Zuma and Antonio both there. Can't really get the head onto it and flick it on properly. It wasn't a bad idea. Big boot forward. And again, this is where they scored last time, Liverpool, where they won the penalty from. James Ward-Prowse does well there. He gives away a free kick in the end, but he did really well to just get back and cover Mohamed Salah. Yeah. Baby bells, Eduardo, the cheese. We eat them for luck around here. So if we feel like West Ham need that little boost, that little bit of extra energy, a little bit of extra pizzazz, I'll put the poll in the chat. You know, if it passes, yes, we eat a baby bell for luck. And it's pretty consistent with the working. So Robertson floats it in. Header from Virgil van Dijk, can't quite angle it forward, although Luis Diaz managed to keep it in. James Ward-Prowse again getting out of the way. I tell you what, James Ward-Prowse is working overtime so far today. He's getting involved in everything. Diaz tries to flick it around the back of so far. Can't quite manage it. It's going to be thrown to Liverpool by the corner flag on the right-hand side. Sorry, left-hand side. Big boot forward. Mikel Antonio almost getting on the end of it, but it's easily controlled away by Joel Matip in the end. Poll coming to an end. I genuinely don't know what this is going to say. Let's have a look. The poll ends and 67. Hang on. Oh, right. Anyway, 76%, sorry, 67% said yes, 33% said no. So we are going to bell, ladies and gentlemen. Early doors bell, very early doors bell, but not quite there. Yes, Trouty, we are very, very close. At some point, Geo did ask me to make a graphic for it, but I don't know exactly what he wanted, so I need to ask him again, try and make that. But we are very, very close, and that is the goal for this season, is to try and get that number to that magical Upton Park attendance figure, and I think we'll make it. While Jared Bowen's getting better from this challenge, let's go and grab that baby bell while we can. Back in a second, ladies and gentlemen. Baby bell acquired. We have the baby bell. I think that was a long shot from McAllister, because I come back, I see lots of applauding and McAllister walking away. Let's get the baby. Let's get into this. There was the McAllister long shot. It glitches. I changed the channel on the North Idaho TV network, and I see the shot. Slightly behind her. Right, let's get involved here, ladies and gentlemen, with the silent snack. Here we go. We're going to get in there. We're not going to shove it all in, because it doesn't feel like panic stations just yet. It maybe feels a bit too early for that. But if there's enough people shouting, just shove it in, then we will. But for now, we're not just going to shove it in there. Take our time with it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? It's necessary these days. I do feel like slightly I'm on the verge of death. I do feel a little bit like I'm on the verge of death. But, you know, we move. We'll give it a shot. It's a great question, this. I don't actually know. Was it a straight word? Was it? I don't know. I don't know how many games he was banned for. Was it 1, 2, or 3? I'm not actually sure. It's a great question. If anyone has that answer, let Lewis know, because I would actually also very much like to know as well. The passing around just outside the box. Gomez. I tell you what, they're playing that ball quite frequently to Gomez. They're getting sort of the right-hand corner quadrant, as we like to call it. And Joe Gomez is arriving late, and they keep playing it into the inside to Joe Gomez, who's hitting it first time, early crossing position with Nunes. And every time Nunes is making that run in behind. Good defending there from Emerson. But every time, something to keep an eye on there, because it keeps happening. The bell has been consumed, people. Diaz into the path for Szoboszlai, who looks like he was trying to range one up from 30-odd yards there. Liverpool taking their time, passing it around instead. I have been described as much, Max. I have been described as much. Someone called King Baby Bell. There's been lots of just Bell in general, but you know. Come on, Penelope knows. Penelope knows. Come on. Fortnite God, this game is not on TV in the United Kingdom. It's on TV elsewhere, but not in the United Kingdom. Shout out Detroit, Michigan. Is that where you're at? Is that where you're at? Just good to see you, sir. Didn't know you were in Detroit. Did we hit the magical 500? Have we hit the magical 500? We are flying with those likes today, to be honest with you. We did. We're at 503. We are flying with those likes. This is now significantly out of time. Let's just refresh. See where it ends up. Don't worry. The time has paused for a second just so it can get back in time of exactly where we are. There we go. Curtis Jones trying to flick it past Alvarez. No. I think I saw Alvarez available next match as he only had a 1 game suspension for double yellow. Eduardo, thank you very much. Excellent info. And excellent news as well. Can only help us out in Europe. I suspect he's going to start almost every single game this season, Alvarez. He's just... You can see how important he is to us. The City game, you saw it once he went off. It crumbled very quickly after that. Liverpool passing it around at the back now. Good, big, classic Van Dijk pass. Flicked back to Gomez. Oof. Gomez hooks it back to Salah, who hits it first time. Thankfully, completely shanks it. And Soufal ends up booting it clear. Yeah, can I tell you, you're not having too much joy up against the centre-backs. Well, that's really well done by Thomas Souček there. And Jarrod Bowen maybe could have got the ball in a better position, in a better place, but no. I know Australia have it, Fortnite God. Astro Supersport are showing it somewhere as well. Optus Sports are showing it in Australia, for example. There's a couple of places. Curtis Jones gone down injured. I don't know if Souček, who he was battling with, actually did anything, but he certainly went down injured. Klopp asking some of his players to go warm up. Looking at the replay of the pen there, it's just awkward. Again, I'm not gonna. I know. Look, Aged's not having a good season so far. He's had a couple of big high profile mistakes in a row, and it's easy to look at that and go, and to blame Aged again and to say, you know, we should have known. And I think there is potentially some truth to that. But I also feel like, you know, Salah can twist and turn the very best defenders in the world. He is just that good. And so the idea of trying to... I don't want to put too much blame at Aged, although I do think as the ball comes across, he does plant himself in a very awkward position that can only lead to that happening, basically. But let's be real, he's not having the best of seasons in Aged so far. As much as I love him and I really, really like Aged, he is not having the best of seasons. Bowen looking to try and cross that ball in, doesn't quite make it work. It deflects off McAllister for a throw-in. Bowen just loses out. He's just not quite... Again, easy to say maybe the illness is affecting him or something, but he's just not quite in the races. That situation there just needs to be a bit quicker, needs to be a bit more aware. Liverpool just come flying in behind and take him out. Or take the ball off him, I should say, rather than take him out. See, I don't necessarily blame him, because if I'm the manager, that's not a bad part of Diaz. We'll come back to this. Diaz on the left-hand side tries to cross it in. Thankfully, it's not a great cross. It goes over the top of everyone. It was aiming towards Mohamed Salah potentially, and Emerson's clearance isn't great. God, what was very consistent has gone incredibly inconsistent. Mohamed Salah looking to try and hook it in towards goal. Big boot away from Naif Aged. I say big. It wasn't as big as it could have been. Coming back to the Curtis Bowen thing as we wait for the time to catch up. I feel like, realistically, if you're the manager, or if I'm the manager, and I have a player who is as good for us and as important for us as Jarrod Bowen is, if he's ill, I don't want to play him. But if I get told if I get told that he's well enough to play, then I'm playing him. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think there's a yellow card for Edson Alvarez there. Yeah, it was. So I don't necessarily blame him for playing him, if I'm being honest. maybe a slightly harsh yellow card. I understand it. I don't think you can necessarily argue against that one being not a yellow card for Alvarez, but potentially a little bit harsh. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Good opportunity for Liverpool here. Mohamed Salah standing over a free kick alongside Dominic Szoboszlai. How is this? How is this? Please. Sneaky look. I said 2-1 to Liverpool. I said 2-1 to Liverpool. To be clear, as a West Ham fan, I said 2-1 to Liverpool. Free kick in a good position. Slightly across to the left. Certainly not shooting position, it feels like. Although, depending, maybe you could get one there. We do have Emerson down as the draft excluder. Like, if Salah's standing over it, it feels like it's not shooting position. But for Szoboszlai, who hit the first one, it could be. Slightly across to the left-hand side. It feels like more a right-footed shot than a left one. But Salah is standing over it. And he is having a look at the wall. Salah might be shaping up for a shot here. He is looking for it. Van Dijk and Nunes standing over the far post, looking to make a run. But I think there could be a shot here. So I was like, hits it straight into the wall again. Second time into the wall. We take that. I think fans in general were optimistic. I think there was a lot of optimism about our vibes. Maybe not necessarily for the result. I think there was a lot of realism. But I think, you know, optimistic in terms of like energy and sort of performance levels. Liverpool again, just taking their time passing it around. Our initial period is sort of dissipated now. I think we started the game really strong, and I think even after their game, there was a period where we were still doing really well, but that feels like it's gone now. Not necessarily that we're playing bad, but it certainly feels like Liverpool are comfortably on top of the game now. And we aren't finding the gaps and damaging them as we once were, which is a shame, because there was in the sort of opening stages of this game, we were really bright and we were looking really dangerous, and we crafted some really good opportunities. The Mikel Antonio header. Salah! Wide, thank Christ for that. Again, they can just go through the gear so quickly, Liverpool there. As I'm talking, they regain possession, direct passing forward, bang, Szoboszlai, bang into Salah, who hits it, just bends it wide of the left-hand post, thankfully. But yeah, I feel like realistically, you know, we started so strong and we were doing so strong and well, and it just since that point, it just hasn't. We haven't been able to refine what we had. We haven't been able to refine what we had, unfortunately. Is what it is. Is what it is. Yeah, I don't know what happened, Dean. I don't know what happened. My fellow North Idaho resident. I'm not sure. It was going beautifully. The first ages of the thing, it was spotless. And now, spotty. Very spotty. Paqueta plays it forward. It's a nice idea, little exchange of play. And Robertson chose to just pass it out for a throw in there, interestingly. Well, it is a throw in for us, which means inevitably Liverpool will score from it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it if I was them, but still. Sufal looking for the long throw into the box. Hangs up. Antonio can't quite get his head onto it. Again, up against Mo Salah here as it glitches. Oh, good. Thank Christ. Thank Christ. Good turn there. Does well that time. It's been done once by him. Don't need it to happen a second time. Do not need it to happen a second time at all. Bowen turns on the afterburners. That's a pen, surely. Referee says he got the ball, fired across the box. Thomas Souček. Oh, just wide. Just wide. I feel like that maybe should have been a pen in the middle of all of that, maybe. But we'll have a look at the replay. But Thomas Souček just curving it wide. It's a nice little It's not bad. Bowen charges into the box. I don't know, McAllister maybe gets a touch on the ball. I don't know. I can't really tell. It bounces out as if he gets a touch on it, to be fair. I don't know. I can't tell from the replays whether or not it is or it isn't. Yeah, I don't think actually McAllister gets a touch on that. That should have probably been a pen if we're being honest about it. That should have probably been a pen. If we're being completely honest about it, but, you know, we move. Corner comes in, whipped away, header from the front post. I think they've been told to mark those front posts, Liverpool, because they have big men in there. And again, we obviously scored from one in the week in the European game from that exact position. Whipped into Thomas Souček at the front post, who just nods it in. So probably been told to some extent to keep an eye on those areas, but they do seem to have big men in those areas every single time. Going to get another corner regardless. James Ward-Prowse on the right-hand side to take this one. Whips it in. Headed towards goal. No, it's not towards goal. It's just hooked away. Hooked away. Really nicely done there from Emerson. Ball gets booted away towards Mohamed Salah. And Emerson just barges Salah out of the way, lets him go forward. Oh, nice header down by Bowen. Antonio, nice first time ball out to Soufal. Back across. Bowen, diving header. Oh, posted in. Jarrod Bowen is 1-1. Let's go. Oh, we're back in it. We're back in it. Vladimir Soufal with the assist. The ball curved in towards Jarrod Bowen, who, to be fair, has a lot to do. He's not exactly close to the goal. And a diving header. All he has to do is just angle it instead of powering it. Perfectly posting in past Alisson Becker. 1-1. Let's go. Let's go. Big ball forwards. Jarrod Bowen gets the header down. Nice first time pass from Mikel Antonio out to Soufal, who bends it in. It's nicely done. And Van Dijk is just stretching his foot out, trying to stop Bowen, but Bowen's ahead of him. Diving header. Perfectly placed. Bosh. Posting in. Big moves. Let's go. 2-1. Sorry, 1-1 even. 1-1. Let's go. Where's the one I need? No. We've not scored a second yet, Charlie. Calm down. Calm down. Come on. Love that. Absolutely love that. Oh, that gives us such a huge opportunity. Because again, as I was just saying, our performance levels have dropped in this first half. We started off so brightly, but as the half has gone on, we've only just got slightly worse and worse and worse and worse. And so the fact that we've managed to get back into this game is a huge positive. Bubbles blasting out at Anfield. Nice control there from Emerson. Emerson's having a bright game as well. At least from he's involved at least. I might have some questions about the defending side of it, although he's done relatively well there. I'd need to sort of rewatch it to be truly accurate about these things, but I think he's done all right so far. Zuma battling with Diaz for it. Edson can't quite get his head onto it. Liverpool move the ball around well. They're so good at that sort of stuff. They're so good at that slick sort of passing it around. They're so good at it. Oh, my stream, please. Do this while we wait. There we go. Szoboszlai on the outside of the box. Lays it out to Luis Diaz. Cuts inside from the left-hand side towards the centre of the pitch. Back out to Szoboszlai. Dinked over the top. That's a great opportunity! 2-1. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. He's offside. It's fine. Jesus Christ, it's fine. Curtis Jones just caught out the back post there. Diaz cuts inside from the left-hand side. Plays it in towards... Plays it out to Szoboszlai, I should say. I'm looking at Curtis Jones on the far side. Yeah, he just runs that just that fraction too early round the back of Emerson, who was relatively covering well, but thank Christ from that, it's offside. 1-1 still. Just joined. Was it definitely a pen? Yes. Yeah. I think it is a very, very clear pen. Love that we're going to an unnecessary VAR call when it was very clearly offside. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't very clear from live action play, but when you see the replay once, you go, oh yeah, it's offside. So the fact we're taking so long about this, is the arm, I guess, of Emerson? Is that really what we're looking at here? I mean, even I can see from here, with the naked eye, that is offside. So I don't want to... Check's over. Offside. Perfect. Let's refresh, because this is ridiculous at this point. Oh, good. Back to the VR. Cool. Good. Oh, I'm having a mare. I think part of it's my internet, to be honest with you. Do you know what? We're just gonna leave it at this for now. Yeah, it was definitely a pen. I don't think we can have any arguments about that. It was 100% a penalty. Again, on Mohamed Salah. 4 minutes of added time added. There's opportunity here. Paqueta just... again, not entirely certain how that isn't a free kick, but okay, fine. Ball gets played forward. Mohamed Salah tries to play it in towards Nunes. Hits it. Oh, Alphonse. We take that. Collects it solidly. Straight into him. We're fine. Again, they're only really dangerous in these counter-attacking scenarios. I mean, it's Liverpool, so you would expect that, right? But when we're in our defensive shape, we're sort of happy. Like, don't get me wrong, those crosses from Geo Gonzo I was picked out and some other things. Once or twice, there's some little dangerous moments. But realistically, they're only really super dangerous in those counter-attacking moments. That's when we're a little bit all over the shop, and that's when we need to that's where we need to be most worried, and that's another one of those examples there. Thankfully, Nunes decided to hit it straight into Alphonse Areola's hands, but certainly that's something to be keeping an eye on for the rest of the game. How are you skipping 30 seconds back, please? It's gone back to 45 now. Do you know what? Just let it play. Whatever. Half time. I'm seeing half time calls in the chat. Is it definitely half time? It was 4 minutes of added on, Callum. Do you know what? Screw this. I'm giving up on that. Half time. The score is 1-1. Yeah, difficult. I'm not mad about it. I will say that I'm not mad about it. I think realistically we were maybe not the better team, but we were certainly looking really good for a long time. Even after their goal, I think their goal, you could make an argument, was against the run of play somewhat. But I think even when they scored, we still came out and were carrying on with the sort of amped up nature of our play. I thought we were looking really good, and it just sort of, as the half went on, it sort of dissipated. It sort of got slightly worse. Liverpool were much more in control of the game. But to be honest, they weren't really super dangerous from those opportunities. It's just we weren't doing anything from it. I don't think it's any surprise that both goals came from counter-attacking opportunities for either side. I think from us, that's obvious. We're always going to score from those counter-attacking opportunities. That's what we do. We're not exactly going to score. We're going to score from counter-attacks, and we're going to score from set pieces. We're not going to score from anything else really too much. But from Liverpool's standpoint, they've created here and there from non-counter-attacking opportunities. Don't get me wrong. But realistically, it's that it's capitalising on the defence just not being fully in position, and that's something that's big against us. And you've seen it. Liverpool are very happy to pass it around between Alisson and the centre backs and trying to sort of slowly but surely play their way forward. They're very happy to calmly do that sort of thing to try and draw us out of that defensive shape. And in the early stage of the game, we were sort of pressing quite nicely. We were busy. We were harrying around trying to sort of find the gaps and nip it off them a couple of times, and we did do that. But as the game's gone on, we've dropped deeper. Again, in a very David Moyesy way, is what we do. We tend to drop deeper as it goes on, and yeah, it happens. 1-1 though, I'm not exactly going to complain too much about, if I'm being honest about it. I thought that it was I'm surprised Jared Bowen managed to score from that sort of distance with a header, but listen, I'm very happy, and 1-1 ultimately I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, Charlie. I think the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, I think we played well. The bit in the middle was all Liverpool, really. But that's expected at Anfield, and it's expected with the way that we play. I think we've had the best chances of the half. Ultimately, we didn't score either of them. I will say that. I think Souček's was a difficult one. Antonio's had the best chance of the half and got it all wrong. I think Bowen scored the hardest of the 3 opportunities for us, like you said. But I'm happy with it. The game feels very tense. It's very balanced, I think. Hard to call a winner at this stage. We could easily go on and win this game. We could easily go on and lose 3-1 probably. I like it, though. I'm happy with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think that early period, like you're saying, where we were really good, we were creating, we were nipping it off them, it was really nice. And then that big long period, I think from Liverpool's perspective, when they have control of the ball, if counter-attacking, I'm not terrified. Like, it's when they can get Salah in awkward positions, that's when it becomes a problem. But that happens more often from counter-attacks than it doesn't. Most of the time, when they're not counter-attacking, where they just have control of the ball and they're in possession, Salah ends up out wide, he's laying it short to Geo Gonzo to cross the ball and that sort of stuff. I'm not too worried about that. It's just those counter-attacks, but I mean, it's Liverpool, they're dangerous, that's what they are. It's a Jurgen Klopp side, right? I mean, it is what it is. I can't act like... How do I word this? You can't stop counter-attacks. But at the same time, I think us getting a goal, it's not, we aren't winning, obviously, but it almost gives us a little bit more license to go, okay, we can really just sort of play our own game at this point, because we're away at Anfield. 1-1 is not, it's not like we're losing 3-0 and we have to go for anything. We can play a little bit, and it should help us slightly guard against those situations that we've seen, because all of their big chances, it feels like, will come from counter-attacks.
Yeah, I think... I think they look good on the break. You know, their goal arguably came from one. We've looked good on it as well. I mean, to be fair, our goal was a beautiful bit of play, actually. The build-up was really, really good. You know, Paqueta, head down from Bowen, Antonio to Soufal. It was an average cross from Soufal. Another assist, so fair play to him and all that. But it was a bit of an average cross. It's just a exceedingly good finish from Jared Bowen, I think. But do you know something? For us, if you're going to want to do something against Liverpool, you're going to have to gamble. You're going to have to commit players forward. We know they're good at counter-attacking. That's the risk you take. I think James Ward-Prowse did a really good foul on Salah halfway through the first half, maybe, where they were sort of breaking a little bit. But it wasn't one of those where you get a booking for it. But I think it was a clever free kick to concede from him. The referee's doing a nutting. I don't like blaming the referee, but he's frustrating. I think he's pretty poor. The one thing I will say, at least he's consistent about, he's not giving Antonio free kicks, but I do think Antonio's going down a little bit too easily. I'd like to see him, because he did it at one point. He did just shrug off Matip. He was strong, and he's like, here we go. And then he goes down again. Oh, come on. Whether he's actually injured or he's just holding his ribs to exaggerate why he was laying on the floor for a few seconds, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think he needs to be a little bit stronger. Not lose his head. Just at the end there, it looked like he sort of kicked out a little bit at someone, and then he's chased after Robertson. Fortunately, didn't give away the free kick, but it looks like Antonio's getting a little bit frustrated with his referee. I understand why, but you have to now, 2 or 3 times now, you've gone to ground, the referee's not gave it. You're just going to have to get used to it. You're going to have to accept the referee's giving you nothing and play the game with that ref in charge rather than someone you might get next weekend kind of thing. Bowen looks a little bit off the pace to me. I know he's superb goal, but I don't think he's having the best game. Passing-wise, he's fine, but in terms of his runs and that's lacking. Corners, not taking the most of them, are we, Charlie? I feel like there's been 1 or 2 ones we could have done a bit better at, but I'm pleased what I've seen at half time. You offered me 1-1 Anfield at half time, and you played like that. I would take it any day of the week. And we've got an opportunity to do something in the second half, and the subs for both teams are going to be crucial. We know what Klopp's got on the bench: Jota, Gakpo, top players to bring on. But we've got someone that scored 2 goals on Thursday sitting there as well. So It'd be interesting to see what Moyes does, actually. Antonio with a bit of an injury, Jad Bowen perhaps not 100% fit, so difficult call.
Yeah, we'll see. I shall be back in a moment, though, Gio.
Thank you very much. Right, let's see what you're all saying in the live chat while Charlie disappears. Mark, that's not Mark, this is Mark. Mark says, individual errors again, a Gerd again, time for Dinos. Just a Yank says, Kudus is great at drawing fouls, bring him on for Jared. Terran says, Soufal's our weak link. Liverpool's defence are there for the taking. We need to play 2 up top and take the win. Richard said, our bench is good too. Hey, I was getting on to Kudus. Thank you very much. Apart from that, listen, Ben Rama could do it, but I'm not confident he will. Finals could do it, not confident he will. Kudus, yeah, I'm excited for him. So we'll see. We'll see with the subs. Bro says this is a game that Danny Ings can get a winning goal. Sam says, imagine starting a player only because he's left-footed. I kind of get it, I get what Sam's saying there in regards to a Gerd. It's a tricky one. Harry said, who got the assist? It was Soufal. Soufal got the assist. Ionic said they will up the pressure and more. Unfortunately, can we suck it up? They will, but it gives you opportunities on the counter-attack. Swings and roundabouts. William says, take Bowen off. He's not 100% fit. I know he scored, but he doesn't look up to speed. Put Kudus on. I agree. I don't think Bowen looks 100%. I don't. I think he's struggling a little bit. Suburban. So you feel sorry for Soufal, Doku 1 week, and then it's Luis Diaz. But then Malik thinks Soufal's actually been quite good. Alan says, Moyes won't make a sub, only if we go 2-1 down. Well, he made two subs when we were 1-1 against Man City last week. I'm trying, like, historically, previously, that comment is more than fair. I criticised Moyes plenty of times in the past for lack of substitutions or late substitution. But this season, I think he's doing all right. I don't always agree with them. For example, Bournemouth, I wasn't happy with the subs then, but I do think he's getting a little bit quicker with them. In the most recent one, which was Man City, we've seen him making early subs against TSC. He brought Antonio on relatively early, and then as soon as we scored, he then brought Souček on in order to sort of shore up the midfield since we went 2-1 up. So I think he's doing okay. Dylan said Antonio's pretty useless. Definitely not backing up his comments. I think he's just getting pissed off with the referee for what it's worth. Steve says, Aguero players don't understand what they're watching. Any defender would have given that penalty away, and he's been good otherwise. I disagree, Steve. And I don't like, also, it's not just you. Let me unclick Steve, because I don't want, this isn't Steve. Don't slag off other people's opinions. I hate it. It's the one thing I hate more than anything at the minute, I've always done it, is when someone basically says your opinion is worthless for whatever reason. It's not. Everyone's opinion is valid. You just disagree with them, Steve, and that's fine. But don't say that people don't understand just because you don't agree with them. I don't like it. And please, don't bring that into the live chat, please. Everyone's opinions are valid. Just disagree, that's fine. But to say their opinion isn't valid because they disagree with you, and for what it's worth, I agree with people that think Aguero made a mistake. He didn't have to dive in. He didn't have to go to the ball. As soon as that ball was getting across, he should have stayed still. And we all know what Salah's going to do, try and get on his left foot. I think Aguero was naive. So I think I agree with the people that you disagree with, Steve, whereas they've made a mistake. Aguero's made a mistake, sorry. Anyway, rant over. I just don't like people putting other people's opinions down because they disagree with them. I hate it. Kevin says Soufal's only reason our attack on the right is dangerous. Valid. He's done well. He got forward a couple of times, skinned Robertson as well, and got us a free kick in a dangerous position. Jason says Soufal's doing well defensively, got the assist with a good cross. I'll leave that. Like I said, I disagree with the good cross. I think it's an average at best cross, just a very good finish. But he's getting forward well. I think Soufal's playing fine. I think he's doing okay. Louise will cause every right back problems in the league, really. Varney says, will we see a better header than that all season? Possibly not. Bill says Van Dijk was the irritating one. Caught Bowen and just comes through like players ain't there. The ref has to stop him. The one thing I will say, I wasn't going to say this actually, right? But I don't think it's a booking or anything. It's the follow through. It's a natural follow through, in my opinion. But this is the same referee that sent Balbuena off for doing that against Chelsea. Now, I know we're going back a few seasons here, but it's just inconsistent. He gives Balbuena a red card for clearing it, and his stud's going into a Chelsea player's leg. Van Dijk does the same thing, and it's nothing. So it's just inconsistent from the same referee. Mancunian said he's not seen the game the way you are, the way I am. I think Liverpool are unlucky to be behind. They're not behind. I don't know. I don't know, Mancunian, unless you mean they're unlucky not to be ahead. We continue like this, we lose 3-1. We need another plan. They look dangerous, but I think we're looking relatively dangerous as well, personally. Tim says, hear what you say about Antonio, but when others get free kicks from feather touches, is extremely frustrating. I get that. I do get that, Tim. But like I said, once you've tried it a couple of times, it's not worked. I think you've got to accept you're not going to get them from the referee and play a different kind of game. But if you go down lightly and the referee keeps giving you free kicks and keep on going down, but he's not giving him anything. Marcus says he's biased. Antonio might as well stay on his feet instead of his falling over. Does this every time he plays. I'm more worried about him losing his head, to be honest with you. Joshua says, feels harsh on the gird, left exposed by Sufala and the ball in, then it's incredible. It's by Salah. He doesn't commit, Salah gets a free shot anyway. Jack Mate says, get Jay Lings on. Hamster says, keep knocking Antonio chat, that's when he scores. I don't think he scores because people in the live chat don't think he's playing very well. No. I think he's doing okay. He's just going down a little bit easy at times. I
think he's just being. There's just two big centre backs, and he's not winning that battle against them. I don't think it's that. Yeah. I don't think he's playing badly necessarily.
I wouldn't take him off yet. Malik says Antonio needs to put the header away. He isn't backing up his words. I guess that's it. If you're going to get gobby during the week, I think you need to
it's a bold
put pressure
play
on yourself a little bit, haven't you?
It's especially against a team like Liverpool. It's a bold play to start sort of just putting words out there like that. But you know,
Stephen would like to see Kudus on early. I'm just trying to see. This is what I say. Adam said, "Why did Robertson not get?" Yeah, I completely agree. It's the most deliberate handball you'll see in your life. He literally slapped it on the ground and slapped it. So I don't know how you can't it's the most deliberate yellow card I've seen in a long time. Anyway, Charlie, I'm going to disappear and leave it all to you, my friend.
Massively appreciate. I shall see you full time for the review. So there you go. If you want more knowledge, smart person talk like that, not what I've got going on, but what Geo's going on, then I would highly recommend you coming back at full time, where we will have a live match review of the game. However, before then, we will be here throughout the entire rest of the second half, discussing everything that goes on. So make sure if you haven't already to subscribe and like the video and all that good stuff, bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos. We are flying. We're at 555 likes, so we are absolutely on fire in that sense. However, second half against Liverpool is close to happening at least. I'm trying to find just some ability. I'm trying to switch the channels. If you see what I'm saying, we'll get there eventually. Hopefully, Dean, by the way, what channel are you watching on, as it were? But it is 1-1 at half time. I feel like it's gone okay for us. Like we were saying, I feel like it's not the end of the world. I feel like we've done relatively okay. Obviously, it could be a situation which we could have done better. There are periods of the game where we were in charge, which is something I didn't expect too much of, if we're being honest. But there were also obviously periods of the game where we looked like they were in charge. So I'm not. But against Liverpool, we take that. I'm not going to sit here and complain too much about it. I think realistically, there's something there for us to get from it. But realistically, it's going to be a big second half, a difficult second half, one where there's a lot of battling going on, let's say. I did not mean to do that for a start. However, it'll be underway in just a few moments' time. I have a timer in the top corner if you're wondering how far behind you I will be, because I'll be ever so slightly further behind you, given the way it happens. Yeah, Dean, if you could DM me, that would actually be perfect. Because your boy, he's struggling. He's struggling. On the app, I refuse to call by his new name. That would be a legendary move. Thank you. We're having a mare today, Sean. We're having a mare today. I'm also mentally about 10 minutes behind, so to be fair. Julius says we need full concentration straight off from this half. 100%. 100%. If we let them start well and they get a goal, it could be catastrophic for us. We've managed to fight our way back into this. Let's not waste our time. Let's not find ourselves in a situation where we have to fight back into it again. We did it, and that was great, and that was fun. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it and I loved it. And yeah, grand, whoopee, good times, right? But let's not find ourselves in a secondary situation where we have to do it again and again, because that would just be you're running your luck. You're running your luck. Duck had scored by this point. I think he had. He very much had. Sumo, good to see you. I'm sorry I haven't seen it. Sir, I'm having a bit of a mare today. I apologise. I had not seen your hello. Legend is Sumo in the game. He's always around. He's always around. All right, there we go. Right, we're there. We're underway, ladies and gentlemen. Deploy the boys. Come on, you irons. It's time to run to things. We are back. We're on the way. We're on the way. And we're significantly ahead of this. Corner in from Liverpool, headed away. There we go. Significantly ahead of that. There we go. There we go. Dean. Thank you. You have mail. Do you remember that film? I saw it once when I was a kid, when it was on like Channel 4 or whatever. Don't remember a single thing about it, apart from it being snowing, I think, in New York. That's all I remember. Close, Alan, close. North Idaho, of course. So close. Antonio trying to battle there, just getting swarmed by about 4 Liverpool players. Battling well for it. Battling strongly for it. Yeah, my timer is accurate now. Okay, cool, perfect. McAllister collects the ball in the centre of the park. I wish. I've had 1 hour sleep, Sumo. So I am massively all over the shop. But, you know, we move. Cleared away, big hook away from West Ham, although nothing there. No changes at half-time, DJ Hayes. Liverpool passing it around on the halfway line, trying to find those lines forwards. Kurt Zouma just falling over there. Ball gets fired in, thankfully, ahead of everyone from Robertson straight into the hands of Areola, which will collect calmly. Jeez, then you know the feelings, Dean. You know the feelings. You know the feelings. It's a stressful time to be alive. Just during the week. I watched the game at home in London, but you know. When you got to go North Idaho with the boy when you need to. You know? Sean, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you. I disagree, but I'll take that very kindly. Thank you, Sean. It's very, very kind of you to say. Jay, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Big throw from the right-hand side for West Ham, looking for Jarrod Bowen. Can't quite make it happen. We battle for it well, but McAllister comes away from it, or Jones comes away from it, actually. It's Jones who plays it forward into Diaz, who just completely twines himself up almost. Sifal and Alvarez combining to stop him from getting forward. Played into the centre of the park. Liverpool now looking to reconvene. Matip finds Salah. Whipped in towards the back post. Headed away from Jarrod Bowen. He drops well. Hooked from Edson Alvarez. A little bit stretched all out defensive right now from us. It feels like they're just... Luis Diaz goes from range significantly wide. Alvarez just strolls as he watches it go past. All out defensive mode, it feels like a little bit at the moment. Not necessarily in an unexpected manner. Let's be real. It is Liverpool away and we are drawing. It wouldn't be necessarily shocking to see the way we're playing right now, but certainly a very defensive display we're seeing at the start of the second half. I feel Gary. I feel it, mate. I feel it. I'm surprised I'm awake. Is what I would say. Rob, we had one in the first half after they scored. We've obviously got back into the game now. We have 2 more available if necessary. Don't know if my stomach could take 2 more bells, but you know. Ward-Prowse out wise to Emerson, tries to cross it in. Good block from Gomez though. This is when again having someone who's going to commit as far forward as Emerson and who can be a bit lackadaisical getting back can be dangerous. Thankfully, we managed to force them back down the line so that counter-attack down on Emerson's side doesn't come of anything. Núñez to Szoboszlai. Liverpool passing it over to the left-hand side now, looking to try and cross it in. Comes back into the centre of the park. McAllister and Szoboszlai again passing it amongst each other. Szoboszlai finds Salah. Núñez! Oh, thank Christ from that. How he was onside is shocking. The fact he's missed that is, if anything, more so. That was wild. That was wild. Liverpool, that's maybe the most dangerous opportunity they've created from these sort of chances where they have been completely in control of it. They're just passing it around relatively comfortably. Salah, and he is comfortably onside. Again, there's all kinds of wild positioning there. Trying to block off the angle for the shot from Salah, just keeping Núñez onside, who then turns and smashes it significantly wide for about 8 yards wide, 8 yards out. How he's managed to flop that so badly, I'll never know. Big ball across to Mikel Antonio, collects it. He has Paqueta next to him, who he finds. Tries to bend it in, looking for Bowen at the back post. Can't quite find it. Headed away from Van Dijk. So far, very heavy first touch. Gives Andy Robertson the chance to catch up to him. Free kick against Robertson there. So far, just holding off Robinson there. He goes down. Free kick in basically a corner position. Honestly, I would take that. I'm very happy with that. Usually, I wouldn't. Usually, I'd want us to make the most of it. But given the fact we've got James Ward-Prowse and given the fact outside of obviously getting an assist from a cross in the first half so far, his crossing has been pretty whack for the last 2 seasons. So I'm very okay with winning free kicks in those positions and basically having corners. Whipped in towards Bowen. Oh, he almost scored a second header. It comes to him, and somehow he's free and open, and there's no one near him, and he just heads it straight into Alisson's hands. He does well as well. He gets up and heads it down nicely. It's just straight at him. Stress. Oh, love that, Stephen. Hope you're enjoying your holiday, man. Hope you're enjoying your holiday. Such a good opportunity for Jarrod Bowen there. Such a good opportunity for Jarrod Bowen. Maybe not as good as the Núñez one, but it's close if we're being honest. Mikel Antonio get involved. Defensive display, nicely done. Gets the ball off Matip. Instantly goes down and loses out the ball, but he does well to win it back in the first place. So you know, Paqueta winning the ball off Gomez. Love that little flick in, lovely 1-2, and he's away with it. Oh, he's so good, isn't he? He was so good. That period where we were at our best in the first half, he was brilliant. Oh, and he's doing it here. He's taking on 2-3 Liverpool players by himself, flicking it over and winning it. Beautiful stuff. Lucas Paqueta, ladies and gentlemen. He's just so good. He's just so good. When we were in control of this game, it was almost solely down to him. He was so good. He takes on Szoboszlai, takes on McAllister. He's just battling with it, flicks it over Szoboszlai. He's just taking them all on, and McAllister ends up fouling him. These fouls are starting to add up. You feel like there should be some yellow cards maybe coming out soon, but man, Lucas Paqueta, he can win the ball back. He can flick around you. He can keep the ball. He just does everything. He's just so good at everything. I tell you what, Andy Robertson does well to keep that one in. Thomas Souček does well to take that one off. No, okay, that's a free kick apparently somehow. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Ignore everything I've ever said. Ignore everything I've ever said. It was all wrong. Loving looking at the chat and just people going, Paqueta, Paqueta, Paqueta. He's so good. Free kick somehow to Liverpool there. Not really sure where the free kick was or how there was a free kick anywhere, but, you know, we move. Maybe for the clip for the feet of Antonio, but the clip that was so effective that Szoboszlai basically was barely affected and carried on running forward in a straight line with the ball. Yet somehow there's a foul there. Okay, sure. Okay, sure. All right, if you want. J-Bo, I'll get involved in a little bit of J-Bo. A little bit of J-Bo, I'll get involved in that, Richard. I can back that. I can back a bit of J-Bo. It's the sort of thing I would say anyway, so I'll back that. Pinged in towards... Van Dijk heads it back towards the box, and Emerson, thankfully, on guard to header that one away from danger. Paqueta trying to flick it into the path of Antonio. Can't quite manage it, but we're in a throw and we'll take it. He ran for a little while after there. He got clipped, which, you know, fair enough. He got clipped. It is what it is. And then he just carried on going. And then got dispossessed by a Ged fairly comfortably. And then the ref goes, nah, it's a foul. Is it a foul? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one, my G. You're not wrong, Paul. You're not wrong. I think the thing is with the Ged situation. He's obviously not playing very well this year. He's had a couple of very high profile mistakes. My concern would be it will colour the judgment for here on out, as it tends to do with footballers. But I really like him still. But I think it's one of those situations where he's obviously had a couple of very high profile mistakes. I don't think necessarily this penalty was one of them. In my opinion, I think it's Mohamed Salah being Mohamed Salah. But, you know, the conclusion draws itself. Mohamed Salah on the ball there, tries to play it in towards Núñez, and thankfully Zuma just gets that one away. See, this is why, by the way, Matip is ahead of... Over the top, Núñez! 2-1. I think that one was onside as well. He's missed a couple of very notable chances today, Núñez, and he's just got one in. He does really well as well. He does really, really well. Sometimes you just got to respect it when you see it. He climbs up well. Ball's lofted in just behind him. Stretches out. Kung Fu kicks it in. It's really nicely done, to be fair. It's really nicely done. He's missed some incredibly strong opportunities. And he hasn't let it affect him too much. And that's a really nice finish. Darwin Núñez is 2-1 Liverpool. I think if it was any... I didn't look offside to me. I think if there was a chance of it being offside, we would have heard by now. McAllister just on the ball. Yeah, he's miles on. Not miles on, but he's very, very on. He's such a dangerous player. He's just got everything in his game. Beautiful ball over the top from McAllister. And then just nestles it in. Big full stretch, Kung Fu kick, volley. Just nestles it past Areola. It's really nicely done. It's really nicely done. And unfortunately, we are yet again in a situation where we have to fight our way back into this one. It's a massive shame. It's a massive shame. Núñez has missed the golden opportunities and has scored an absolute perler like that. But it is the way it is. 2-1 is the scoreline. Antonio crosses it in. Alisson collects it. Yeah, that's my opinion, Bill. I think it's a great goal. I think we can pick out individual things. Someone maybe could go and close down. McAllister maybe someone could, you know, cover the run of Núñez better. Maybe Areola could. I think there's lots of different ways we could pick it out. For me personally, I just look at it and go, do you know what? Fair play. It's a really good goal. Andy Robertson comes forward, plays it out wide to Jones. Hits it from range, deflects off. And it almost ends up dipping in under the net, but under the bar. But thankfully, Areola is matched to it and just pours it over. Gonna be a corner. I don't want to write it off just yet, but it feels right now like Liverpool are on the march and we are not. It feels right now like Liverpool are on the march and we are not. I will say that. I will say that. But first half seemed the exact same. First half seemed they seemed to be all over it, and then we weren't. But we managed to get back into it. McAllister covers well, just laying that one back to Alisson. A little bit of pressure here. I'd be interested to see how long Moyes leaves it until subs start happening. As Geo said at halftime, you've got a situation in which you've got Bowen, who's maybe not at full fitness given the illnesses he's been suffering during the week. You've got Antonio, who's maybe carrying a bit of a knock potentially. And when you're looking to get back into the game, they're the two most important players on the pitch. The problem is with Antonio dropping is that almost certainly means Danny Ings comes onto the pitch, and Jesus Christ, we can do without that. Bowen, Kudos is maybe a bit more of an obvious option and feels a little bit more possible. But yeah, it becomes an interesting question. It becomes a very interesting question. Because looking at the bench, outside of that, you've got Fornals who could maybe speed up the passing, although that's not necessarily an issue. You've got Cornet you could bring on. I wouldn't be against Cornet up front. Because let's be real, as much as he's not exactly going to be one for the hold-up play, Mikel Antonio is not one for the hold-up play today. He's being pretty comfortably bested by Matip and Van Dijk. Maybe you put Cornet on, give him something slightly different to think about in terms of pacing behind. Maybe you get Kudos out on the right. I don't know. There's options there, but there's nothing that's really jumping out at me. Like I said, I'd be interested to see how far it goes on. He's not exactly one for the substitute game, is David Moyes. Get subs on. Moyes forgets what subs are. He's not exactly one for that kind of stuff. But yeah. Passing it around comfortably here, Liverpool. It's not been our half so far, I'll say that much. 20 minutes in, it's very comfortably not half. It just feels it's very much Liverpool's game to lose right now. Oh my God, Areola, Jesus Christ, thank Christ for that. But my Lord, with his feet as well. Ball gets played in from Mohamed Salah. Diaz comes flying in from the left-hand side. Mohamed Salah's through ball game today has been strong. He's won that one back well as well there. Thankfully, Areola was up to it that first time, although they're in again here, Liverpool, trying to bend it in. Salah can't quite manage it. Nicely laid off by James Ward-Prowse. A bit too comfortably. There's a lot of Liverpool players there, and we're passing it around as if nothing's there. Thankfully, Aguerd does really well there. Aguerd does really, really well. The people call for it, Jimmy. The people call for it. Salah again on the ball, trying to cut his way inside and dribble his way in. Well blocked out. Just a wall of white shirts there waiting for him. Oh, Paqueta does really well there. Or Antonio does as well. And Emerson can come forward, tries to flick it back to Paqueta. Again, we're incredibly stretched. They're doing the best they can in that scenario, but they are unbelievably stretched. Right, enough calls. There's been enough calls to make the poll go. We are getting dangerously close to 600 likes, by the way. Just clicks on it. 582 right now. Dangerously close to the 600 mark. Should be a poll in chat any second now. We'll look at a 68 minutes. We'll give it until 68. Had one bell already. Do we go for the second? Stuff one in. This one will be a quick one, Thomas. Don't you worry about that. There'll be no taking our time with this one. This one will be a gobbit jobby, you know what I mean? Oh, I'd blame that on the tiredness, but I've said that out loud, so... Salah looking to flick it on for Jones. James Ward-Prowse does really well to cover that, really strongly. Hear me out, Curtis Jones. Shut your mouth. Complaining that he's not got a corner there. How about this? How about you shut up? How about them ones? How about them apples? Luis Diaz was probably offside. Looking at that through ball, he's probably offside. But thankfully, Areola matched it. Just over 20 seconds left. Antonio lays it out to Emerson. Back to Paqueta. Try to flick it into James Ward-Prowse land. Couldn't quite find it. Liverpool come forward with the ball. 10 seconds left on the pole. Thankfully collected once more. Time to end the poll, and unsurprisingly, I think this is a dominant yes. I think it's an incredibly dominant yes. Just waiting for the final results after I click end just to check. 6% said no, 93% said yes. So, at the end of this passage of play... In fact, no time to waste. I'm going to grab one now. No time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting it as quickly as possible. Hang on. The bell net undid me there. I spent about 30 seconds looking for the hole in the net. I'm staring at it. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? But we have it. Like I say, this one, no stress at this one. This one's just going in. I think I was saying before the game that I was more concerned with the performance than I was the result. And I think if we lost 2-1 here, I wouldn't be that stressed about the result. Good. Headed away from so foul, although not very well. But performance-wise in this second half, not been the one. Not been the one. Like, we've just not been anywhere near at the races in this second half. First half, Salah hits it from range straight into the hands of Aria. The first half, I was happy with the performance. This second half, I'm not. Mohamed Kudus is about to come on, ladies and gentlemen. The threat of the bell has forced Moyes into some sort of action. Mohamed Kudus is getting ready to come on. I'll be interested to see who for. No messing. No messing. Was there ever any doubt, Fred? Was there ever any doubt? He's coming on as well. There we go. Bell in. Sorted. Be interested to see Fornals. The Fornals is the interesting change. I think Kudus, will probably be a like for like with Jared Bowen. Fornals, I could see one of our three. I could see one of Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse or Souček coming off. Probably. I don't know who. Although the commentator seems to say maybe it'd be Paqueta. We'll see. But it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I wouldn't take off Paqueta personally, although I don't think he's been particularly great in the second half. He's had moments, flashes of it. First half he was really good, but second half not necessarily. And it's a difficult one when you look at it. You can't really take off Alvarez because he's too good. You can't look at James Ward-Prowse because he's too good and he's too impactful from set pieces. And you can't really take off Thomas Souček because, as we saw on Thursday, he can just get goals when other people can't from those sort of situations. What a ball from Thomas Souček. I did not know he had that in him. That was beautiful. Jared Bowen battling forward, hits it straight off the Liverpool defender. But my God, I did not know he had it in him. So it becomes a really difficult question about subbing someone else on. But at the same time, can you take off Paqueta when he's one of your most special players? It feels like an impossibility. So at that point, who do you take off? My gut says maybe Souček. But again, against Liverpool, do you take off a defensive midfielder like that? I don't know. I don't know. I'll be interested to see who they do take off for 4 hours. Like I say, Kudus feels like a like-for-like Bowen. That's what we're saying, Leon. That's what we're saying. It's all coming together. It's all coming together now for a big finale. I'm feeling it. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones. Right, here we go. Kudus getting ready to come on. I thought he was coming on there. He was walking towards the touchline, and then we took goal kick. Paqueta. Oh, that's such a good ball for Jared Bowen. I just can't quite get there. But see, this is why I don't know if you can take him off either. Because that's such a good pass. It's such a good pass. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Oh, it's toes. It's not bones. Or is it bones? Oh, I don't know. What a ball from Paqueta. I was looking at the replay. So good. Yeah, you're not wrong, Ionix. You're not wrong. We're going to see in a second what's going to happen, but it is Souček. I was right. Okay, you're taking off Souček. And it's Antonio coming off. Interesting. He's going again with what I assume is the Bowen up front manoeuvre. So we've got a guy who's been ill all week and hasn't played and was barely trained up front by himself against Liverpool away. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Kudos for Antonio. Shocking. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, we'll see. I assume that's what's going to happen. Let's have a look. Pardon me, my stomach's kicking off. But we'll see. We'll see where they end up laying. Nice passing around. Kudus feels more central. Right now, I mean, this is only the first time we've seen him on screen, but he sees a lot more central. And then Paqueta goes into the sort of 10 role. So you're playing almost that sort of 4-4-1-1 type thing, the 4-2-3-1. Paqueta moves into the 10 role. You have Fornals on the left-hand side. Kudus up front. That feels like what it is right now. Good luck, Mohamed Kudus. Good luck, Mohamed Kudus. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. Salah looking for Gomez. Can't quite find him. Emerson does well. Tell you what, some very calm passing around. We're a lot better on the ball this season than we were last season. Like, the passing around is a lot more comfortable. Is it helping us? Not necessarily, but it's a lot better than it was, if we're being fair. Nunez trying to find his way forward. And Aguirre does well. Stops that one. It's going to be a corner. Going to be a corner. So far, every second I've seen Kudus on screen, he's been in a very striker role. We'll see if that's how it ends up or whether that was just during that passage of play. But that's how it feels right now. Ryan Gravenberch coming on for Curtis Jones in central midfield. Gravenberch's one of those players who sort of had the world at his feet, and it's never fully worked out for him anywhere he's gone. He's always shown that he's very, 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 very capable, but it's never been a situation in which he's quite matched the levels that people expect of him. But it's clearly a very good player. I think a really good signing for Klopp, if I'm being honest. I think he will make him that guy. Oh, there is Massive going for it a second time off the corner, can't quite manage it. Headed away from Alvarez, and thankfully it ends up in the hands of, after a bit of bouncing about, Areola. Yeah, I agree with you, Leon. I think it was going to happen. See, now that passage of play where we just failed to move forward. Oh, Paqueta. He's just better than all of you. Stop it. He just starts spinning around with the ball just to take it away from Liverpool players. He's just better. But looking at this passage of play and the one before it now, Kudus looks like he has taken up his position on the right, and Bowen has gone up front. That's what feels like's happened here. Dean, by the way, thank you, because Dean, we are living in a much different world now. Have you noticed this? Not one, flawless, literally flawless. Fornals tries to hook it towards goal, straight into the hands of Anderson. Fornals is an interesting sub because I think what he brings. How do I word this? He's so quick in his decisions and his passing. He just goes. He's much quicker than the vast majority of our players. And I think in this scenario where we are just purely counter-attacking at this point, there's no hope of us being in control of the game or whatever. I think having someone in that role who can... Sometimes I think he tries to force it too much, but will just collect the ball and go, bang, have it, is like so useful. God, look at that. Man, we've got Paqueta, we've got Alvarez. We're such a better team than we were last year. Having said that, Sofal then does one of the worst touches you're ever going to see. But apart from that, you see them on the ball, and it's just so much it's just so comfortable. James Ward-Prowse getting involved in those positions as well. It's just so nice. Alvarez looking for a big searching ball forward for Bowen, who battles for it. He wins it as well, to be fair. Lays it short to Sofal, maybe a cross into the box. I mean, I'm not going to see a Fornals header, or maybe he could do a Bournemouth and flick it scorpion kick style, but probably unlucky. The snowstorm has stopped me, thankfully. It's a beautiful thing. All it took was, the winds came through and it said, marsh. And the snowstorm subsided, It said, isolation mix. And then, and now we're all grand. It's beautiful stuff. Cody Gakpo coming on for Liverpool as well now. Oh, Jota as well. So Diaz and Nunez coming off for Gakpo and Jota. Probably is some straight swaps there, 10 minutes to go. I don't think this is over. I really don't think this is over. I could see... this is maybe tempting fate, touch wood and all that stuff, but I could honestly see either side getting a goal in this last 10 minutes. I could see them scoring, but honestly, I could see us scoring as well. I really could. I don't know where our goal would come from, though. That's my bigger problem. Got a lot of unknown quantities on the pitch right now. Like, Kudus is somewhat of an unknown quantity. Bowen up front with these players around him is somewhat of an unknown quantity. Fornals with the players around him is somewhat of an unknown quantity. Like, Fornals playing left wing, we've obviously seen time and time again, but Fornals with Emerson around him, Paqueta next to him, Bowen up front is very different to Fornals playing with Souček and Rice next to him and Lanzini and Cresswell and Antonio and things like that, right? So, like, I just don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll see. James Ward-Prowse. Nice cross just out past the right-hand side to Sofal, whose touch is awful again, and the cross wasn't much better. Poor. Ooh, let's go. Let's go. Can find that at Dean. Hang on, I can click the other link. Hang on. Dean R. Marsh. I definitely knew that. Dean R. Marsh on X. Formerly Twitter. Gakpo goes down under the challenge of Zuma. Easy foul, to be honest with you. Easy, obvious one, that is. Russian Ghost, I'll just say this. Just chill, bro. You know what I mean? Just chill. It's not that deep. Like, you're welcome to stick around and get involved in the chat, bro, but do you know what I mean? Just chill out. There's other Liverpool fans in the chat who'll probably back me. Like, I'm more than happy for Liverpool fans to be in here, but just chill out, bro. Liverpool getting forward. Look at try and pull it back. James Ward-Prowse calmly into the path of Zuma, who then passes it off Cody Gakpo, but goal kick. Garen Birch with a skin fade, you know. What's that mean? I don't know. Mo Salah, thank Christ for that. Emerson does really well. Emerson's had a decent game. Paqueta just doing Paqueta things. The ball to Kudus was poor, but the flick over the top, he's just good. He's just good. I love your hair. Thank you, Russian Ghost. It's very I'll take it. It's unnecessarily long. It needs chopping, if we're being honest, but I'll take it. Thank you very much, bro. Going to be a corner to Liverpool. Big Virgil van Dijk coming forward. We've taken off Souček, so that is one of the obvious set piece people we have. We still have quite a few of them on, but it's one less than we had. Head down! Yeah, 3-1. It's done now. I did say I could see there being another goal either way. Diogo Jota with the goal. Way too easy. Way too easy. 3-1. 3-1. Is what it is. Way too easy from a corner, if we're being honest about it. If there's one place we shouldn't concede from, it's corners, and that was way too easy. Ball comes in from, I think it's Andy Robertson. Virgil van Dijk heads it back down. At the back post, there's just no one really on him. And as it comes back again towards the front post, Diogo Jota is there. It just lands perfectly at his feet and he just swipes it in. It's really easy, isn't it? It's really easy. Ah, well, it's a shame. 3-1. 3-1 Liverpool. Game over now. We ain't getting back into this now. It is what it is. There's literally nothing we can do from this position. There's literally nothing we can do from this position. Oh, good. No, wait. I was wrong. Danny Ings is coming on. Oh, wait. Hang on. Here comes Danny Ings. For Paqueta. Oh, wait. Here we go. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, Henry. I don't think you're wrong at all. Good to see you, by the way. I hope you're well, bro. But I don't think you're wrong. I think when you look at a situation like that, I mean, that's as basic as it comes. That should be bread and butter us. You know, set piece, big men in there. We know what we're doing. That should be bread and butter us defending that, and we just let it go. It's bad, isn't it? What can you do? What can you do? Well, defend it. Ideally, would be the would be the answer to that. Would be defend it. But yeah, there's nothing you can do in this situation because you look at the bench. You say, who else did we have on the bench? I mean, Ings, Ben Rama, Cornet. They were the three that could come on and actually change something. Yeah, we ain't getting 2 goals from that, so. McAllister coming off for Liverpool. Endo coming on just to shore it up for them. He's not even on the bench, Brent. He's not even on the bench. He hasn't made the matchday squad today. I'm not sure why, but he didn't make the matchday squad today. We'll say while we're here, by the way. While we're here, subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. We're flying. We're at 608 right now in the likes category, which is the highest we've had this season for the watch along. So thank you very much on that. Huge, huge number. Subscribe if you haven't already. Most consistent West Ham fan channel when it comes to watch alongs. Been a bit all over the shop this year, but there we go. I've had tonsillitis. What are you going to do? Usually we are here every single game without fail, and we will be here for every single game without fail. Even today, where I've had 1 hour's sleep. Gakpo, easily dealt with there by a good. So subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification button, and there will be, of course, a full match breakdown review coming up straight after this live on the channel. Literally, we finish, it starts. Beautiful stuff. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Corner to Liverpool. On the right-hand side, whipped in. Poor. Easily headed away from James Ward-Prowse. To no one, but... I'll say this, look. I know I say this publicly constantly, don't get me wrong. And everyone who's in here constantly will know this. I am 100% okay with opposition fans coming into the live chat. I'm 100% okay with it. I think it's fine. I think realistically, like, I've got a problem. If they come in and they cause trouble, then obviously I give them a chance. And then if they continue to cause trouble, then they can get shot. But I don't mind Liverpool fans coming in here and like getting involved in the chat. If anything, I would 100% recommend it happening, right? At the same time, stress. I understand that. And if they do continue to cause trouble, don't get me wrong, they get got. You know? But it is what it is. It is what it is. My bigger problem is when you get opposition fans. Like there was that Liverpool fan earlier who came in and just was like with the worst troll you're ever going to see in your life. It's just poor effort. It's just poor effort. You know? And we've had those before. I'm like, if you're going to troll, come with a good troll, bro. You know what I mean? That's all I want. I'm fine with it. It gives me content. I'm fine. I have stuff to say for a while, but still. Oh, that's really well done by Yotto, who comes in, cuts inside. Thankfully, the block from Aged is there, but my God, that was a dangerous opportunity. He came flying in from the left-hand side, just kept going and going, just seemingly unstoppable. Good ball forward to him, picks up the ball wide on the left-hand side, cuts inside on Kurt Zouma, just takes it past him easily, but thankfully Aged covers really well. That's the problem with Aged. Well, not the problem, it's what he's trying to do. Aged likes to drop deep and cover off those shooting lanes, like he did with Salah, for example, with the Nunez chance that went that glorious Nunez chance that he missed. Like, how is Aged letting him onside in that scenario? Well, he's dropping deep to try and block shots like he did there, which can be really useful, but also can be a massive problem when you let people in onside like that. Steve, good to see you, sir. If you lot like wrestling, then I would highly recommend SCW, the wrestling channel. Steve's a lovely man. Does great videos over there. What could have been if we took our chances the first 10 minutes? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Yeah, thank you. I've had 1 hour's sleep, so I'm a bit all over the shop. But apart from that, I'm very well. Yeah, it's a shame we're going to look back at those Antonio chances, for example, and stuff like that, and just go, what if? What if? I'm positive about the performance. We looked good on attack and went toe-to-toe for a good part of the game. The negative attitude and chats. Yeah, I understand it. We lose, and it's obviously, you know, we're gonna feel negative about it when we lose. It happens, right? But I agree with you. I'm relatively positive. It's a shame, but I'm relatively positive. I think second half, I'm a lot more negative about the performance than he was. I said at the beginning of the game that the performance was more important to me than the result today. You know, Liverpool was a free hit. If you lose to Liverpool, we're expected to lose to Liverpool away. It's not that deep. So I was more worried about the performance than I was the result. Performance in the first half, I was very happy with. Performance in the second half, a lot less so. But still not exactly furious or anything with it. So, we move. 3 more minutes left of the 5 added on. Free kick to Liverpool. This one definitely too far for a shot. Szoboszlai and Robertson over the top of it. Robertson whips it in. Headed on from Virgil van Dijk. Straight into the hands of Areola, but another opportunity there where the ball gets played in and Van Dijk wins the first header. Alvarez confidently striding forward, plays it into the path of Fornals. Instantaneously, we've lost the ball and forward come Liverpool. Again, does well to cover that one. Danny Ings. I tell you what, it was a beautiful opportunity. It was a beautiful try. Danny Ings dropping deep and hitting a lovely crossfield pass. I'll give it to him. Didn't know he was capable of doing it, but at the same time, I mean, it didn't pay off. We literally didn't finish it, but it won a corner it won a throw-in for us. But at the same time, I just want to give him some praise for Danny Ings. Completely pointless coming onto the pitch. Literally was going to do nothing but make us worse. But at the same time, yeah, he tried to deliver a nice pass. He tried a good pass and he almost completed it. So, you know. Vibes. Why not? Ward-Prowse finds Kudus. Goes down. Free kick to West Ham. That's one of the things I think Kudus could really help us with. Is winning free kicks in good positions. Apparently we took that one while the ball was rolling too fast. We're going to go back to it. That's one of the things that I saw in the European game, and something that will hopefully help as he grows more into the team and gets more and more opportunities, is winning those free kicks in more positive central close areas in James Ward-Prowse territory. That's something I'm looking forward to him. We're going to get a James Ward-Prowse free kick here. Too far to shoot from. Unless he wants to go for one of those wonder shots that he said that he has scored in the past. This one feels like it's going to be a cross. It was into a good area, just no one quite there. And we win a corner from it off Virgil van Dijk. Last minute of the game, corner for West Ham United. Remember to stick around because there will be a live match review straight after this. Looking to nod it on there from the throw-in. It's gone poorly. I thought it was a corner. Apparently it was a throw-in. We've won it back though with a Ged. Fornals flicks it in. Ings tries to pull it back. Can't quite happen it. Fornals kicks. Could have a little bit underneath that, but still. That's a beautiful pass out from Alisson. Just all the way up to the other end. That is beautiful. Jota flipping heck. Jota just with the outside of the ball tries to play it into the path of Gakpo. Doesn't quite make it. 5 seconds remaining. Well, that's not a bad ball into the path of Gakpo. Back heels it beautifully. Thankfully, Areola collects it. And there's the full-time whistle. It ends Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. First half, I was pretty positive. First half felt like we were going toe to toe with them. We had long periods of the game where we were the better team. We were playing really nicely. Second half, there were flashes of it, but I do think second half it was much more just Liverpool's game. But it's what it is. Away to Liverpool, Anfield, those sort of things are going to happen. I'm not necessarily too mad about it. I think performance-wise, we were probably good enough in the first half at least. But it is what it is. It's a free hit. It's Liverpool. It's at Anfield. We live. Liverpool are one of the better teams right now in the league. So it is what it is. But I appreciate you all for coming massively. Thank you very much for keeping me awake. Given my 1 hour sleep, the fact that you've all been here has been a lovely, beautiful thing. Make sure to stick around because Geo will be live with Gonzo in just a few moments' time with the full match review. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because we're the most consistent fan channel out there for West Ham when it comes to watch-alongs. This season we've been a little bit dodgy because of my tonsillitis and whatnot. But listen, usually We've only missed 4 in 4 seasons, and that is a crazy stat that no one else can say. So make sure if you haven't already subscribed, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on future videos, and like the video to help us out massively. But it ends Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. And finally, just before I go, thank you very much to Moyes Rex, Euro winner, and Asteroid Survivor for the 20 Swedish krona. We massively appreciate it. Enjoy the review, everyone. Go and have a chat about what went wrong in the game and break it all down massively with Geo Gonzo. Appreciate you all. It's been a pleasure. Calm your irons. Enjoy yourselves. Bye, everyone. Bye.